All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Friday, October 25th, 2024. I got Alec Nava along here with me, just joining into this space. It's the New York Yankees, 94-68 on the season, 7-2 in the postseason, managed by Aaron Boone. And then for Dave Roberts' squad, it's the LA Dodgers at 98-64, 7-4 on the season. Again, the Yankees come into this. They're winners against Kansas City and Cleveland. They took care of the AL Central, 3-1, 4-1, respectively. And on the other side for the Dodgers, it was a 5-gamer against the Padres, 3-2. That one was pretty close. The really hot Mets, they gave them a challenge to the Dodgers at 4-2, but the Dodgers able to advance. Alec, it's not often that we see two teams of this caliber play against each other in the postseason. And I think this is the matchup that a lot of us were wishing for, and our wish was granted.
It's the MLB's dream come true. These are two baseball powerhouses. Star-studded talent up and down for the lineup, and while pitching rotations may have some questions right in between them, they have stepped it up in this postseason, especially the bullpens, who have been revelations for Jordan. And after last year, which saw the lowest World Series ratings in MLB history, this year it should have the highest ratings, no matter where you are. The United States, Canada, heck, even Japan is tuning in heavily to this World Series. They delayed the new season premiere of One Piece to air the World Series in Japan. How insane is that, John?
That is pretty cool, because you think about that. You think about the Dragon Warrior video game release, Dragon Quest, that's known over in Japan. One Piece, it's a pretty big deal. It's understandable. Again, you want to be able to watch them in the morning, essentially, over there to check this World Series and see Shohei Ohtani. And you talk about some of the stuff in the bullpen. It was broke down on the Yankee side, at least. On the 40-man, not so much for the Dodgers, but you will see Luke Weaver, Clay Holmes, Tommy Kahnle, Mark Leiter Jr., Marcus Stroman, Clayton Beater, Jake Cousins as the righty, and then the two Tims, Tim Hill, Tim Meza, are the lefties for the Yankees. And then for the Dodgers, you're pretty much going to see a mix of probably Anthony Banda is the only lefty, Daniel Hudson, Michael Kopech, who they picked up from the Chicago White Sox, maybe Evan Phillips, Blake Trinan. So we'll see what bullpen's going to match up with each other. I agree with you on that, because these offenses, the way that they can get things going, they can put some damage on the scoreboard.
We also have to mention another name on the Yankees bullpen. Even though he's more known as a starter, he is making his return and onto the Yankees bullpen in time. Just got activated from the injured list. Nestor Cortes Jr. He's back on the Yankees active roster. He is healthy, and usually you would see him on the starting pitching rotation. Carlos Rodon making a comeback and being the strikeout artist that he is labeled to be. Having Cortes may give the Yankees an advantage on their pitching staff. I'm not discrediting the Dodgers bullpen, because they stepped it up a ton throughout this postseason run. You can't go no wrong whoever you close out on the high levels relievers. I was expecting Kopech, who they picked up from the Chicago White Sox, but mostly it's been Blake Trinan doing all the cleanup stuff late in the innings. He has 3 saves so far.
So thank you for that for Cortes. I'll definitely update my notes when I catch back up with you again on Monday. Again, I'm not going to be able to do games 2 and game 7, so Alec should have that coverage for you at least tomorrow, but I'll try to get as many of these with Alec as I can. I'm not planning on missing any other ones at least. So hopefully in my instance it doesn't go 7, but hopefully for all of you it does, because we want to see this series go all the way. And now we see that, Juan Soto just turned 26, correct? He has a birthday today, and what a birthday present it would be to get a win for the Yankees.
Happy birthday, Juan Soto, 26 years old, and hopefully this Yankees deliver a World Series game victory, and even a World Series victory will be his best birthday present for him. He already has a World Series to his resume, 2019 with the Washington Nationals, when he was only a sophomore in the MLB.
So what are we looking at? I know we know both of these starters pretty well on different teams, again, starting with Pittsburgh, but Garrett Cole and Jack Flaherty, how do you see it today? I still know Garrett Cole to be the 2023 Cy Young Award winner, predominant fastball. I know he dealt with a lot of injuries and stuff this year, Alec, but he's one of the best in the business.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He won the Cy Young last year for a reason. That he is flamethrower is one of the best in the MLB. After that is a curveball heater combo right after that. If that goes on, he can mix in the slider of a few cutters. Then that turbo sinker that he apparently has in his back pocket nobody has seen before. And there's a very good chance that he could stymie the Dodgers with that pitch arsenal for Garrett Cole. Jack Flaherty, he's been good this season, and his revival's been a pleasant sight for the Dodgers and even St. Louis Cardinals fans who got to watch Tommy Edman in the NLCS will go absolutely off. That pitch rate has dropped off a little, but if he can bounce back here, it would do wonders for the Dodgers. He struggled his 2 postseason starts, but a turnaround could be on the books for Flaherty if he can get his game back on track.
Yeah, I think it's important for Jack because, again, you think about it in the Tigers aspect, when they started with him on the year, that's how they ended up getting Trey Sweeney on the shortstop side, and Jack Flaherty had to get some injections into his back to be able to pitch. And again, he is a free agent to end this season. I mean, hey, I know we're going to be talking about the World Series right now, but Jack Flaherty in the free agent market, and then, oh, by the way, Gleyber Torres and Juan Soto are also free agents. So what better way to increase your stock value than get a World Series title?
Hey, if I'm the Dodgers, I'm putting pen to the paper right now, if I'm being honest. Or if the World Series ends, you keep Flaherty, given that Gavin Stoll will not pitch next season. The good news for the Dodgers, that even though Shohei Ohtani won't pitch in this World Series, he will resume pitching next year. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the presumptive ace on this ragtag group because of the amount of injuries that this pitching staff has received. No Tyler Glasnow, no Clayton Kershaw, not to mention about no Dustin May and no Tony Gonsolin.
Yeah.
It's basically a starter by committee. You're using 3 starters and then in between a bullpen game, which has surprisingly worked for the Dodgers more often than not this postseason.
Yeah, it has, and I know it's a pipe dream for me to even say this, Alec, but you mentioned the myriad of pitching injuries, especially in the starting aspect for the Dodgers. Imagine if they had all those weapons available to them right now. You would think that they would be an automatic World Series favorite, would you not?
But because of those injuries, it may be closer to what we expected to be among the World Series matchup between the 2 of them. Kershaw, Glasnow, they could use the 2 of them. Glasnow may be on the number 1 role. Kershaw in a depth role, much like what the Astros are doing with Justin Verlander now.
So do you want to, I'll take this first and then we'll switch off as we usually do?
Yeah, how about that, John? Okay. You lead the way. You're the leadoff man.
All right, I'll be the leadoff man for today. Alec's going to take you all the way tomorrow. So try to at least save his voice a little bit. As you said with Jack Flaherty, you got a 4-seam knuckle curve slider, 2-seam changeup, and that knuckle curve is the miles per hour differentiator. He gets that about 75, kind of mixes that in, as it's a 2-1 count against Gleyber Torres. Again, I have the regular season numbers in front of me, but 257, 15 bombs, 63 RBI for Gleyber, who's leading off today. And this is stonewalled right to third base, but Max Muncy says, look what I found.
Well, I may be a little behind, but I haven't seen the 2-1 count now. I may refresh my Fubo TV in the meantime. But Max Muncy, he can bring power, but he can bring a heck of an arm all the way across from third base, all the way to first when it comes to the occasion.
Well, definitely don't worry about it, Alec, because that'll help me on the color side anyway, at least when we switch, as it's Juan Soto. And I'll take a 95 fastball way outside the zone, as Soto, again, just turned 26. I think about that World Series run with the Nationals when they finished it off alongside Steven Strasburg and Max Scherzer. I mean, this guy was a pitching machine. He really is that right now as he sits with a 2-0 count. How about 41 home runs and 109 RBI? He walked more than he struck out, which he usually does with 129 walks. He'll take a 3-0 count now as Soto's in the driver's seat.
And any other team that Soto would be on, that would be MVP caliber numbers. He's not the MVP frontrunner because Aaron Judge happens to be his teammate.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. If you're Brian Cashman, you got a couple free agents there. You think you're going to lock those down, no doubt about it. And Soto will draw a 4-pitch walk. Flaherty took no business there with Soto, but it doesn't get any easier with Aaron Judge due up next.
No, it doesn't. And for Judge's 161 batting average this postseason, he can come alive at any moment.
Yes.
Game 3 of that ALCS comes to mind. Even though the Yankees lost that game on a walk-off from David Fry, it does bring nightmares when you go up against either one of Soto or Judge if you're a pitcher, no matter if you're on a starting role or a reliever role.
I'm 100% with you there, Alec. I don't care about Judge's postseason numbers right now. You take those and flush it down the toilet. It's about what you do right now in the World Series. He's too good to continue to have mediocre numbers, and you better make sure you locate your pitches. If you're Flaherty, good knuckle curve makes it 0-2. You got Judge fishing on that one.
That's how you can fool out a batter. Insert a knuckle curve in between your fastballs.
So Judge, I have to dig back in now. Again, in the regular season numbers, 58 bombs and 144 RBI to go with 133 walks, as he's just 32 years old. Waits on the 0-2. This one will dive bomb into the dirt. It'll be a good block there by Smith, and Soto will stay right where he is.
Even though Aaron Judge, he doesn't have the numbers that he is primed to be at, he can deliver game 3, game 4, anytime. He and Giancarlo Stanton, towering figures.
Yes, they are. There's plenty of power in this lineup. 87 sliders split the plate, and Judge is going to strike out.
You know the song that's played whenever the Dodgers strike out a batter? Symphony number 5 by Beethoven. Judge is hearing that right now after he got baked out by Jack Flaherty. So far, so good for the trade deadline acquisition from Detroit.
And again, this might, and some people might laugh at this, but this might bring up the most dangerous hitter in the lineup right now, Giancarlo Stanton. It might only be a hit a game, but when it goes out of the yard, that's what matters. The 2024 ALCS MVP with 4 bombs and 7 RBI, 4 of 18, but 4 home runs, waiting on the 1-0. 93. This will be a 2-seamer on the inside black, make it 1-1.
The number 4 spot is traditionally known as the cleanup spot, as Giancarlo Stanton played that role down on New York. He got moved up in favor of Jazz Chisholm Jr., sending Chisholm over to the 5 spot. Stanton, he can deliver, and even though he's one of the slower runners in the MLB, when he hits it, it's usually a long ball.
Yeah, it's a tape measure shot, Alec. He's got that type of power. Again, we know him from Miami to be an MVP, a lot more speed fielding. Now he's just a DH, but he's a really darn good one. Waiting on the 2-1. This one inside will back him away and make it 3-1. Jazz Chisholm, if Giancarlo reaches, would be next. He was a really good free agent or trade pickup from Miami to play third base full time, but he's versatile. He can play the outfield as well. 3-1 inside, and they're going to say he went. I don't think he did, but it's a full count now.
Well, it might be a friendly call. I don't think it was lined up where it was supposed to be for a strike. I think that team strike looking, and he might, if it's true that he went, I don't think that's the right call.
And Tommy Edman on a knuckleball pretty much to shortstop. He eats him up, and even Stanton is safe. So now it's going to leave it up to Jazz Chisholm. That's no doubt an error.
Oh, I got to see it next. Yeah, Stanton, that was a call that should not have gone that way. The bouncer, that was too hot for Tommy Edman to handle, and Juan Soto reaches safely. Not going to count the hit, but that should have been a gimme for the NLCS MVP. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's a very easy play for somebody of the stature of Tommy Edman. He can't make it. Jazz Chisholm, he's got a lot of stolen bases, home run power. He loves the bright lights. He shows bunt, and they call a strike. I guess he got the bunt all the way across, so it'll be 0-1. But for Jazz, again, the postseason numbers a little bit lower at 147, but he's a 256 batter in regular season, and he's got 40 stolen bags. So if he gets on base, he can create some problems. This will be the second, no problem, toss over. Dodgers get it cleaned up after the error, and the Yankees get turned away. Jack Flaherty does his job.
I'm surprised that you used to have calls of showing bunt, and which is called a strike. I guess does he line the bat up fully across for it to be called de facto swing?
Yes.
But that just feels so weird. That second time he does it, but it was just a no-doubter for Gavin Luxy Grove for Freddie Freeman. So Luxy does the job and helps out Edmund on his mistake. So he's got your back, Tommy.
Yes, he does. And again, we'll see what happens for the Dodgers here. Again, we know about Shohei Ohtani. I've watched some games here and there with the LA Angels. I haven't watched as many games with the Dodgers, but for Shohei, he was a threat to be a 60-60 watch. And he's going to lead off here in the World Series for the Dodgers in the bottom half of the first.
We saw the 40-70 club get created last year of Ronald Acuna Jr., the 50-50 this year with Shohei Ohtani. The thing here is, even though Ohtani is homered, he's yet to steal a base this postseason. The one time he tried to steal a base, he was caught stealing a base. Now he got moved up from this 2 spot to the leadout spot. And while Ohtani has struggled with the bases empty, when the bases have a runner on board, that's when he does his damage.
Yeah, it's all about that. I did see some of those splits, Alec, how he just kind of zeroes in when there's runners on base, and you pretty much can't get him out. At what point, I forget what game I saw, because I know you covered them all on the NL side of it, probably the AL as well. You were a busy man, but Shohei was hitting somewhere around 800 with runners in scoring position.
That just doesn't seem real at all, John. It doesn't.
No, it's beyond video game numbers. There's not even a word for that. That's cyborg at that level. Again, but for Shohei in the regular season, 310, 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases. Again, he's just 30 years of age. We are going to see him pitch, as Alex said, next season as he's still recovering from Tommy John. It almost seems unfair. I know Edmund got the error. I think he's going to get that stuff cleaned up. That might be the only error that he'll get in the whole series. But he was the NLCS MVP, and he's batting ninth in this lineup.
Cleanup spot at the bottom of the order. Edmund had a big series in the NLCS, and granted, he fully deserves that NLCS MVP. It was by far their best player in that series. But for everyone else to come alive, especially Ohtani, it would do wonders for the Dodgers. And with Freddie Freeman back onto the lineup fighting a badly sprained right ankle, I think it could give them a boost. I wonder, however, how long will he be in the lineup? And if he isn't, you would move Muncy to first, DK to third, and Chris Taylor insert at second base in any regard.
Yeah, look, that's a great call by you, because you think about Freddie, again, that might also affect the leads when a person gets on first base there for the Yankees that they might be able to take against Freddie, try to toss over. Shohei, first pitch. This one at the warning track, and Judge makes the catch, but it brought everybody to their feet.
Well, it almost was there. That's the spot which I was thinking about who's going to be at center field. A toss between Chris Taylor and Ibanez. Even Kevin Kiermaier, should they go to him because he's not on their active roster. But it looked like he had that one in the bag. Aaron Judge, for as good as he is offensively, said, nope. Most ballparks would hold that one. Yankee Stadium would not.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Shohei tried to ambush the first pitch on Garrett Cole. I don't think it's a bad idea, because if you talk about Garrett Cole, we've seen him throughout the years in the mix of Pittsburgh, Houston, and now the Yankees, where he is as good as it gets. It's a predominant fastball pitcher, and if you get behind against somebody like him, you're going to be paying the price, as Mookie Betts already behind 0-2 after a foul ball.
So Betts, who has won 2 World Series before, one with the Red Sox, another with the Dodgers. He does have a talent around him in both World Series action, whether it be Steve Pearce, who won World Series MVP first time round, as this one was a fly ball to left, and Betts will sit down, but nonetheless, he knows how to win in the biggest stage.
Yes, he does. I think Garrett Cole's heart might have skipped a beat there, Alec, again. 2 warning track shots to center and to left.
Alex Verdugo, Johnny on the spot as he backed up. Nice defense that time out. And back-to-back times, Dodgers fans thought that the top 2 had it there. No, they didn't. Over the warning tracks, but not enough for them. I mean, they did have deep shots, just need to get the power connecting right on the spot.
Yeah, it's really hard to get the barrel of the baseball against somebody like Garrett Cole. Again, his fastball at 97. Freddie Freeman's ranks in Major League Baseball since 2018. They're showing a lot of those. Pretty much first, second, and third in hits, average, RBI, extra base hits. He does it all. Again, with the ankle, probably more of a DH, maybe a lot more power in the hands, as he can't push off the leg as much as he sits at 35 years of age now, the longtime Brave and now Dodger. Oh, up against him with an 0-2 count. This would be a dream start for Garrett Cole if he'd get out of this underneath 10 pitches. And this is a fastball, and this is high, make it 1-2.
Seeing the former Pirate pitch again in the World Series, I feel like I'm watching a pitching masterclass here in this first inning, which at least the Pirate fan in me. It takes me back to the days of old, don't you think?
Absolutely. He's one of the best, and Freddie Freeman is as well. This is a cue shot down the third base line of Verdugo. Badly misplays this. This is going to allow Freddie Freeman to go to second. He's thinking about third. He gets a triple.
Oh my goodness. How badly Verdugo misplaced this. I'm going to get this in a moment. So this one was more of a curveball, which is cued perfectly. Fair, down to the left field line. Verdugo, for as good as he is defensively, that was one that he should have had to limit the damage. And Freeman on that badly sprained ankle. What badly sprained ankle? And it is on board. First hit for the Dodgers. Freddie is right there. And guess who's up next? The former Blue Jay.
I think you called that perfectly, Alec. I couldn't tell that it had an injury as he was galloping into third base, and Verdugo, as it carried him off the left field wall, he slipped, and that's what allowed pretty much Freddie to get an extra 90 feet, and now Teoscar has a chance to cash in the ticket here with 2 outs. We've already seen 2 errors in the top half and the bottom half of the first. Teoscar in the regular season, he slugged a lot. He signed a 1-year deal. People kind of scoffed at that and said, really? But no, he wanted to be in the middle of this order and do the damage. He's got a golden opportunity here. This is right at shortstop and caught. No problem. And the Dodgers turned away.
Anthony Volpe right there to stop Teoscar Hernandez from doing any further damage to this first inning. That's going to put away the Dodgers and the top 4 of this quarter. Teoscar playing that cleanup spot that he's been comfortable playing thus far. That was just right at his direction. Just right at his direction. There was no gap to be had playing that Derek Jeter spot.
Well, this is a pretty good first. I'll be handing this over to you as we continue to switch off. I'm very excited for this one, Alec. Again, I didn't ask for predictions because, again, I've just joined in before this game and first pitch really started. But I'll go ahead and just give my thoughts here very quickly. I think at worst, Alec, this is going to be a 6-game series. I think there's part of me that wants to see the Dodgers win with Ohtani after all the stuff with the Angels. I get all that, but I will go ahead and put the sword down and say, I think it's the Yankees' time. I think Judge, I think with Soto, I think with some of the free agent stuff that's there, they know what's at stake. It's been pretty much, 15 years since this happened here for the Yankees. I'm going to go with the Yankees to take it in 6.
You know, I don't know who to root for.
Me either.
Ohtani was one of the reasons why I got into baseball last year, but also Cole's a former Pittsburgh Pirate, so rooting interests are kind of a conflict of interest on my regard. My late grandfather used to be a Yankees fan as well back in the days of Yogi Berra, all that. But I feel the Yankees pitching staff, they give them an advantage. I wonder how longer will this Dodgers pitching staff will go on? Because you wonder, there's this lingering question right in front of us. If the injuries wouldn't soon enough catch up to them. And I don't feel it's any sort of Dave Roberts' fault in this regard. He's been managing his bullpen very well to this point in time. So I feel these two are evenly balanced teams, but I think heart says Dodgers, mind says Yankees. I feel I maybe lean towards Yankees in either 6 or 7. I could revisit this after Game 3.
I think you and I are pretty much in lockstep because I'm kind of swinging back and forth. But at least, Alec, we can say right now, I know you just said it, we both think this series is going to go at least 6, correct?
At least. That's what we think.
That's what I'm saying too. I think this is going to be a long series. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, I had so much fun last year when we did Arizona and Texas, but those were two teams that kind of came out of nowhere. This is what we expected with the payroll and the stars. You get set to take it away. This should be good.
Well, at the very least, I wasn't thinking a Dodgers Yankees World Series would be possible. Completely shocked me because I thought it was going to be a World Series between the Padres and, say, the Guardians, for that example. But the Dodgers and Yankees is a pleasant surprise, not only for the MLB, but for baseball in itself.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You want to see the stars in the biggest stage. This is Ohtani's biggest stage since the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, yeah, it is. As it is strike one for Anthony Rizzo, 2016 World Series champion with the Chicago Cubs. They raised the Free Games to one series deficit. Rizzo, ever since he was inserted into the lineup, batting .429 this postseason, takes ball one way upstairs. It's back-to-back fastballs for Flaherty. 1-1 on the count, but Rizzo has been electric ever since he came back into the lineup.
Yes, he has. And even Rizzo, again, we've seen this with some of the Yankees. You mentioned this in the first. They're not afraid to show bunt right now against Jack Flaherty for whatever reason. So they're just going to try to surprise him, I think, a little bit.
1-2 on the count as he went down low swinging on a curveball. It does have the ability to fake out batters like what we saw recently. Foul ball to left on a line drive. The count stays at 1-2 strikes. 24 pitches into Flaherty's day. 8 earned runs in Game 5 against the Mets, which is the third most that he allowed in his career. Pretty much uncharacteristic of himself when the Dodgers acquired him. Another line drive foul to left.
Yeah, he's a much better pitcher than that. I think we're going to see the best of him, although the Yankees offense and the Dodgers offense can change that.
And they're hoping that this changes here. So 1-2 on the count still after those last 2 foul balls. This pitch on the way outside, 79. This is 2-2 on the count. And Rizzo still at the plate. So for the roster move and calling up Cortez to the active roster, they put John Birdie as an inactive. 2-2. This one bounced off of Flaherty. Can Rizzo reach safely? Yes. It's an infield base hit for Anthony Rizzo as it bounced off of Flaherty's foot.
What's the over-under of odd amount of plays that we're going to see already? This is the third play. We're only in the top of the second inning.
I mean, it did bounce off of him. It's by no means a Flaherty zone, but that was just an awkward-looking play as it took a bounce off his soles. And then goes away from where he was looking at the end up. And there was no play to throw to first at all as Anthony Volpe takes ball one downstairs on a slider. 28 pitches into Flaherty's night.
No, you're absolutely right, Alec, because if Flaherty tries to force to make a throw there's a high possibility for an error. It's better to just eat that ball. But now he's got to deal with Anthony Volpe in a 1-1 count.
A good block by Will Smith is 1-1 as it was on the right line on that slider.
We'll see the amount of Shohei jerseys. I'll count those as we go along inside Dodger Stadium. $700 million man and worth every penny.
Volpe, a native of New Jersey, so he knows a thing or two right around the New Jersey area. Feels like north side, you typically be rooting for the Yankees or the Mets. South side, you'd be typically a Phillies fan. Flaherty looks and then delivers. Did he go? Didn't matter as it's at right center of the zone. 1-2.
Pretty good pitch variety here for Jack Flaherty, but he's just going to have to try to figure it out, work his way in the strike zone. The Yankees typically work the pitchers and make them throw a lot of count.
Volpe was a right-handed batter like me in that regard as he takes ball 2, which is 2 to left. It's 2-2 on the count. So, see, most of these guys simply batting right, throwing right, well, might fall into that category.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, even count 2 apiece. On the way, punches out. Went after a curveball, and Flaherty made him pay the price. It's dead center, but Volpe mistimed it.
Yeah, if you notice, like we said in the first, it was a slider. This time it was a knuckle curve, and the off-speed pitch, even though it was right there, it messed up the Yankees' timing, and Volpe missed an easy one.
Yeah, you can mess up some batters big time when the curveball gets in the way. First pitch for Austin Wells. That's on the right, 1-0 on the count. 4th walks in the regular season among rookies. 5th in home runs, 6th in RBIs. Postseason numbers haven't been the same for Wells, but he can also bring defensive prowess, and that's what the Yankees value in him. Dead center on the fastball. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, as you mentioned with Austin Wells, he'd spent some time in the middle of the order, but his numbers had forced him to drop. Jose Trevino has been the platoon guy.
That too. The 1-1 is all even up. Big swing and a miss. He went upstairs. Postseason numbers, as I mentioned, he's batting .091. So anytime he can turn it around, just gotta know when. The 1-2 didn't go. Went downstairs on a curveball. 2-2.
They have a good chance to work this count a little bit and try to make Freddie Freeman move at first if they can.
I mean, Freeman's been dealing with that sprained ankle all throughout this postseason, and every way he makes it's been hurting for him. So you wonder if the Yankees take advantage of it. A bouncer is to go to Lux. The throw for the outfield in time. Freddie Freeman gets back to first. This will move to runner to second, but two up and two away.
Yes, it is. So now it's an opportunity here for Alex Verdugo. Again, that error did not cost any runs, but it would feel really good to cash the first one of the ball game in if Verdugo can take advantage of it.
He's now played on both sides of the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. How weird is it to believe that a player would play on both the Red Sox and the Yankees?
Yeah, it really is, Alec. Normally you'd think that would happen. You'd be like, hey, I want to sign with you. You say, no, this is part of the rivalry. You're not allowed.
So this is the top right corner. Both strategy put Derek Jeter and Big Papi at the same booth at the MLB on Fox. No one. Downstairs on a knuckle curve, 1-1. Runner at second that we are seeing here is Anthony Rizzo. He had an infield base hit as it bounced off of Jack Flaherty's soul. That I called previously. So 1-1 on even count. Rizzo at second base. The pitch. Past Flaherty, but picking this one up is Tommy Edman. No further damage. We go to the middle of the second.
I didn't want to step on you on that one, but Edman was able to make the play that ate him up from the top of the first. Again, I think both batters got an opportunity there with Verdugo and Edman. Verdugo hit it right at Edman, but no problem, makes the toss over, and the Yankees get turned away. Even though we haven't had any scoring yet, Alec, I am waiting with anticipation for this first run. I think it's been a good ball game so far.
And so far, so good. Verdugo, by the way, he used to play on the Dodgers for his first 3 years of his career before he went to the Red Sox, where he spent the last 4 years of his career. And this year, a first-time Yankee, so he's been all over the powerhouses of the MLB, of the Dodgers, Red Sox, and the Yankees.
And Alec, if I had an opportunity to do that in free agency or start with the team, or let's say I'm playing MLB The Show, I'm playing a video game, I think those are all the teams that I would want to go to because they get a chance to make a lot of money and have a lot of talent around me.
Yeah, especially playing for a historic team like the Red Sox, who played the oldest ballpark in the MLB. It's gotten renovations over the years, but it's a passionate sports city, Boston.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we're waiting for them to try to get back in the postseason. I think they had a better season than we all probably expected. I know they fell apart toward the end where they couldn't make the postseason, but they went on a run. They just needed their pitching to stay healthy. That didn't happen. Again, the Dodgers, as Alec mentioned, as we're profiling the Yankees, Dodgers here in Game 1 of the World Series, they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. The Yankees, I think, have been living right as far as that side of it, but they do have some free agents they'll be thinking about when it's all said and done, and we'll see who gets the advantage in this series first, who scores the first run, who can get on a series of wins. I don't think, at least from what Alec and I are saying, I don't think either one of these teams are going to win 2 or 3 games in a row and make it a short series because the pitching staff is good. But I do think going down the line, I agree with you. After Yamamoto for the Dodgers, as far as starters, I'm a little bit concerned as we get a little bit later in this series.
Walker Buehler hasn't been who he was in the past. He can still deliver in some magnitude, but Buehler's not been the same pitcher as he used to be. Then after game 3, it turns into a bullpen game for the Dodgers. The question is, which reliever goes first as an opener? We saw Ryan Brazier. We saw Michael Kopech play as openers.
Yeah, there'll be definitely something to watch. Again, we're going to have packed crowds all the way across, as you would imagine, if you're lucky enough to even get a ticket. Maybe at some point in my lifetime I'll be able to do that and watch the World Series. But make sure you treasure these moments, because it's not often that we get two profile teams like this who take it away in the bottom of the second.
They're profiling the 1963 World Series. There's a lot of history between them. You think of Jackie Robinson. You think of Yogi Berra, Jeter, Tommy Lasorda, Dave Roberts, Joe Torre, as there's one that's inside for Mad Max Muncy. Most walks in his postseason career among Dodgers history, and tied for the most home runs, 15 of which. So here's the 1-0. That's downstairs, 84 on this knuckle curve. So, and he wonders if Mad Max can homer off of Garrett Cole. You wonder.
You wonder. He definitely has a lot of power to be able to do so.
Yeah, he's a power batter, but not that time around as a right center, 2-1, as this is inside the zone. Garrett Cole still going strong. He's at 13 pitches already. The 14th one is a 2-1. That's popped up. Inbound territory at left field. Jazz Chisholm Jr. on the chase down to the warning tracks. Inbound territory on the infield. And Muncy's put away.
Yeah, you can definitely see why Jazz, Alec, he'd mix some time in there with the outfield with Miami as well, and in the infield. He's definitely got a lot of speed. He made that pop-up catch look easy.
I'm tempted to make a Jerry Seinfeld joke that he used in the B movie. You like Jazz? It's easy to think about, but, if it's the vibe. Kike Hernandez, with 15 postseason home runs, he bounds this one back. Ever since he got those glasses, he's been on another level, especially in the month of October. He loves October.
I was going to ask you, Alec, and again, I'm not going to dismiss the late, great Reggie Jackson, but maybe Kike Hernandez can also get the Mr. October nickname, because you're right, he does love it. His numbers jump out at you.
Yeah, this is a breaking ball, foul territory. This will go to the stands. But any moment now, you'd think that Kike could strike. Different jersey number, same man. He briefly wore the number 14 in LA before his stint with the Red Sox. Now he's wearing the number 8.
And that's why exactly why they brought him back. Hope they can get some hits.
In postseason action, nonetheless. That's why he's in the lineup here in favor of other guys like Andy Pages. 0-2, punched out. Went after a ball that went upstairs on a fastball, and Garrett Cole has his first World Series strikeout in 5 years.
Wow, that's amazing when you even say that. I had to sit and think about that. Even at 95, Kike can't catch up to that one. It's just too high to go after.
And Will Smith, he was taking some notes and decided not to swing at that because he knew that may have gone above the zone as Cole delivers one to left. Fastball 98. And I'm looking at Cole's pitching motion. It's sort of like a slow windup at first before he delivers with blazing speed.
I think you nailed that perfectly. That's what's really going to surprise the batter. You try to get timed up for that windup, and all of a sudden the fastball just gets right after you.
As a 2-0, not exactly Madison Bumgarner type, but close enough, and that Cole is a righty.
I think there's going to be some calls here, Alec, from Carlos Torres behind the plate that some of these pitchers might want back.
To the 2-0, on the way here, this will be Cole's 20th pitch. Oh, wow, that looked to be inside the zone, bottom left, but they call it ball free.
Yeah, I saw Cole a little bit visibly disturbed after that one, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, he maybe silently shake his head. He knew that should have been called a strike. And there is one that is at bottom left. Carlos Torres corrected his previous error. It's 3-1.
I think Garrett Cole and Austin Wells made it a point to go back and paint that corner and make sure that they got that call.
I guess. So, no score here. 3-1 count, hitters count. And indeed it is hitters count, but it's a foul ball. This was the exact count that almost this day, nearly a year ago, Adolis Garcia hit that walk-off on Miguel Castro. Count is full. Aaron Boone watches onwards. 22 pitches in for Cole's day, formerly with the Pirates and the Astros. On with the second. On the way, on the payoff. Big swing and a miss. Down through dead center. Will Smith will not get a home run nor a hit. We'll head to the third. Aaron Judge will bat third.
I know you mentioned it with Garrett Cole. I know I've seen him a few times as well, but I do not get tired of seeing someone use a primary fastball. Doesn't matter to me whether he uses it 40 to 45% of the time. You can lean on it when you throw 98. He reared back a little bit, got something extra, and gets a couple strikeouts in that half inning.
A couple strikeouts paved the way for Garrett Cole. He's now up to 2 on this night. So he gets his first 2 on this line. But now, if you're Jack Flaherty, you'd be looking for a key response on the other end. So far, you're pitching a shutout. At least, though, you'd wonder how long it will go for Flaherty given his previous outings.
Alec, I'm just going to say this out loud. I don't think the pitch count for Flaherty is too bombastic at this point. It's not too out of control. But I do think in the mix of what we have in the lineup upcoming, as you mentioned with the Yankees, I do think it would benefit Jack Flaherty if he can get a quick inning, maybe 10, 12 pitches, something like that. Try to make sure, as you mentioned with Dave Roberts, try to get as long of a leash as you can before you have to go into that bullpen. Because if you have to go into it quickly, into a game one, well, guess what? You got a game tomorrow, and that could mess up some things. So hopefully Jack Flaherty can get a quick half inning here.
Yeah, and given Flaherty, if he can turn things around, it would do good. Especially when you look at the impacts this has on Japan, the 13-hour difference between East Coast and Japan. Because right now it is close to 10 o'clock on Saturday morning over in Japan. And you really want to think about that the Japanese people, the Japanese citizens that are waking up early to watch Shohei Ohtani play. Yoshinobu Yamamoto presumably tomorrow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to be able to see the international impact. Again, we talk about that a little bit with the World Baseball Classic. Everybody was watching that as well. I guess this is also another thing that Alec and I can point to as far as not only is this a dream for the MLB as far as these two lineups, but for pretty much national attention as well, just to get as many eyeballs on this. And honestly, Alec, I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting some of those numbers down from Game 5, Game 6, however long this goes, that this could be one of the most watched and nationally televised World Series ever.
It has a realistic possibility of breaking the record. That's not out of the equation.
So we're going to check back into the action right now. And Tommy Edman, first pitch from Gleyber Torres threw a dot from short off a one bounce. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it. Gleyber Torres able to beat this out at first, deep in the hole at short. That was a heck of a pick there for Tommy Edman just to try to make that close.
Oh, and even though Gleyber Torres, it was not in time on the throw as Torres reached safely, that was a heck of a defensive effort by Edman. That's what you want to get if you're the Dodgers. Plays like that from the infield. He can play either shortstop or center field. He can be utilized on either area. It is on infield bases with the legs. In which baseball you can say it should be played. The Diamondbacks has played this. The Royals has played this.
Yeah, really good defense. And as you mentioned with Edman, he can play everywhere. He's versatile. And with that kind of arm, no doubt he can also play the field if he needs to. He's got speed. Soto, his first plate appearance was a walk. That one from Carlos Torres was not even close. It's now 1-1, though, as he gets a strike call against Soto. But again, it was a 4-pitch walk the first time Flaherty was able to do it. This is the reason why I mentioned the pitch count. It's at 43 through 2 innings right now, and Gleyber Torres is at first. So if Jack Flaherty can get this around a 50-55, I think that's okay. You start pushing it a little bit, then we'll see how far he'll go, as this one's very low. Make it 2-1.
Yeah, that strike call was not even close. It felt like Flaherty was going to pitch it way out because he doesn't want to face Soto. Soto is one of the two hottest batters on the Yankees right now, the other being Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, if you took Soto's resume, and I know you'll see the camera shot on Fox here in a moment, you would need multiple pages for the amount of words that this kid's going to be able to essentially get. And I can say kid because he's just only 26. He just had his 26th birthday. He's going to be pretty much the biggest free agent on the market when it's all said and done as well. So there'll be a lot to follow. That was a good knuckle curve from Flaherty, make it 2-2. As Soto gets set to dig back in, that took him right out of his shoes. Here's a 2-2 pitch. This one not close. It's a full count again on Soto.
The Soto's paying attention to each pitch. He has a good eye at the plate. He knows which one is which, where it's going.
He knows all about that with the shuffle as well, a little bit of the dance move. Now he's going to call timeout as he's able to know where that strike zone is. It's the last time that we've had two MVPs in the CS in Edmond and in the mix for the Yankees for Giancarlo Stanton since Buster Posey and Miguel Cabrera. This one should be an easy double play. Step on the bag, toss straight over from second. No problem, and the Dodgers make that look easy. 2 outs here for Flaherty.
4-6-3 as it puts away Torres and Soto. I was watching some highlights from a few years back. I wonder what Gleyber Torres is doing. Is it when Gleyber Torres was hitting home run after home run on the Baltimore Orioles? Said it got into Gary Ford's nerves at that time. I just couldn't help but chuckle about it.
I remember that. I was like, why do they continue to pitch to this guy? He was getting so mad.
Oh, my goodness.
Gary Thorne is one of the best. I miss him calling hockey games with Bill Clement on ESPN. I know that ages me very much, but those were great times, and we definitely miss him. As it's 0-2 against Judge. Again, another knuckle curve got Judge way out in front, so Flaherty's been able to use that pitch as now the crowd's on their feet on an 0-2 count. This is exactly what I was talking about with Flaherty. He's making this third inning look easy. That double play is going to change some stuff. Team record in the postseason since 2020 with Judge, 14-12 with his 149 average in the postseason. 0-2. This one's set up high. Judge will groove it, but he'll groove it foul. We'll do it again.
If we're talking about best player in the MLB, we could agree that Ohtani is the best player in the MLB right now. We're talking about best pure slugger in the MLB. Aaron Judge could be in that conversation as the best pure slugger.
You have to definitely say that. This one spiked in the dirt, but no problem since the double play. As Will Smith will get this back to Jack at 51 pitches. As Alec mentioned a little bit with Flaherty, you got the primary for the four-seam slider knuckle curve. Those are the three he goes with. Rare changeup and sinker in between 93 to 77. That's what we've seen today. Waiting on the 1-2. And Judge goes fishing on the knuckle curve. They'll toss over to complete the strikeouts out, but he's already punched out twice, and Flaherty got the inning he needed.
That's 3 times already for Flaherty for 3 innings. So far, so good for a solid outing for Flaherty. Not out of the equation that we can see 2 quality starts between Cole and Flaherty in this matchup. As the Dodgers are paying tribute. Yep, there's that golf ball swing. He chased one that was down low. Should not have. But the Dodgers paying tribute to the late Fernando Valenzuela, who unfortunately passed away 3 days ago. And it's a nice tribute before the game to him. Numero 34.
Yeah, for Fernando Valenzuela, again, before our time, but in the mix in the sense of his immediate impact as being a pitcher for the Dodgers. I mean, you could talk about it for Fernando in the sense, Alec, that this was probably one of the best pitchers right out of the gate that we'd ever seen.
And so far, so good for Jack Flaherty as he's filling in that gap. You wonder how if the pitching staff, if were to be completed, we would be seeing Tyler Glasnow for this matchup, and probably Flaherty on a Game 3 start if Glasnow didn't get hurt at the end of regular season. Ideally, this is the matchup that you want to have: Cole versus Glasnow, and have Yamamoto start in Game 2.
Yeah, there was a lot that could have happened, but right now we still have the matchup that we expected between these two. And I agree with Alec. I think might be mildly surprised right now that it's 0-0 heading into the bottom of the third, but then again, I shouldn't be because I will say one half of the equation. I do think Garrett Cole is going to hold up his end of the bargain. I think Garrett Cole at this point probably goes at worst 6 innings and maybe gives up at most two, but that's pretty much all I'm seeing right now from the way he's pitching.
Yep. And that's a very good thing to see if you're a Yankee fan or even a Pirate fan who used to watch him pitch as well, myself included. But a nice tribute before the game with the two Dodger greats, Orel Hershiser and Steve Yeager, placing the ball in the blue number 34 that's painted on the mound instead of throwing the ceremonial first pitch to honor Valenzuela.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And again, as you mentioned with Valenzuela, that's where I was going back to the rookie year where he pretty much exploded there for the Dodgers. It's something that you really don't see like that, but he took pretty much the Dodgers by storm right out of the gate. And he's been known as being one of the best Dodgers of all time. I mean, you mentioned Jackie Robinson, all that too. Valenzuela is certainly in that conversation. And that also extends alongside the Brooklyn Dodgers and everything else. Make no mistake about it, he's one of the greatest Dodgers ever.
Yeah. You think of the Dodgers, you think of Jackie Robinson, Valenzuela, the all-time greats around it. You also think of current greats, Kershaw, Seager, in that conversation as well.
Yeah, they're all in that conversation. And as you mentioned, pretty much all first ballot Hall of Famers. They're very beloved. Dave Roberts, honestly, I keep forgetting it's already been so many years for him as the Dodgers bench boss. So there is a lot of Hall of Famers across the board, and pretty much in this matchup, Alec, in between the Yankees and Dodgers, when it's all said and done on the field as well, there's going to be a lot of Hall of Famers.
Oh yeah, a lot of honors.
So Garrett Cole is going to get set to start off in his bottom third of work as they're doing a half and half interview alongside Tom Verducci and crew. I know they have the mix of everybody in there as it's 1-1. Garrett Cole's pitch counts in fantastic shape as he's for the first 2 innings. He's at 26 right now as his knuckle curve misses in the dirt.
And you think of the Yankees, it's not just Jeter, Rivera, Posada, Andy Pettitte. You can also think of him, Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams is another one of those guys, especially in the postseason. Gavin Lux will give this a ride. This is near the warning track in right field, and Soto makes the catch. It's the third time, the first time for the Dodgers, but the third time we've seen a ball go to the warning track against Garrett Cole, but he gets the first out of the third.
So all signs it look to be deep. It's just not deep enough. Once again, it feels like a common refrain. And Dodger fans think that they have it, but no, it's a warning track catch. It's all over each of the warning track catches. Center field, left field, right field, and that's not to mention towards that birthday side with that foul track chase down from Jazz.
So normally I could mention Alec about a cold October, but considering where we are in Los Angeles, I think I saw the game time temperature is about 68, so the ball's still going to be able to fly. It's not like it would be on the East Coast if you're thinking about Detroit or Cleveland when you can get the 40s and 30s. It's going to have some nice weather. I don't think we're going to have any sort of issues as far as I looked in the future as far as the games next week when we get toward the Yankees. I don't think we're going to have any sort of threat for weather, so that'll be good. Everything should be starting at 8:10. All of these games will be on Fox, and we do think this will probably be about a 6-gamer as Tommy Edman gets set to dig in on a 2-1. Garrett Cole about to deliver pitch number 31. Let's see what he goes with. Fastball up in the zone. Edman pop it straight up, and it'll be no problem for Rizzo. He'll make the catch. 2 outs, bottom third.
So even though this was a foul chase down, it didn't take much. It wasn't a full-on chase down like what Jazz Chisholm did this time around. It's a foul out on each direction. But it just wasn't too much for the Yankees to handle. It was within a reach. And Anthony Rizzo, he chased that down perfectly towards that World Series logo.
And I love the point that you made earlier about the time difference in Japan, Alec, because they just mentioned it on the broadcast. Okay, it's 8:57 in New York. It's 9:57 the next day in Japan.
I mean, Japan may be packed in the sports bars. no matter which city. Shibuya, Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, wherever it is, you think it's a packed house over in Japan. The whole country may be rooting behind Ohtani and Yamamoto.
No doubt about it. Osho, Japan is Shohei Ohtani. Just turned 30. He's been in baseball for a while now. I have to remember that because he's been in the Japanese leagues and then coming over from Major League Baseball. Been an instant impact for Shohei. He's given us a season we've pretty much never seen before, as this one is down in the dirt on a sinker, make it 1-1.
Maybe, just maybe, he can homer in this World Series. I just don't know if he can do it against Garrett Cole.
I think that's probably a fair call, but I will agree with you, Alec. I do think a homer will be coming. I don't know if Garrett Cole, I'll jump on that with you. I don't know if he's going to be the one to do it right now, the way Garrett Cole is pitching, because I know it's early, and I hate to use this word, but I'm going to use it now. He's looking like an ace. He's looking like his Pittsburgh self.
I mean, is Pittsburgh self can be hot or cold? The Yankees are getting the hot version of Cole. Absolute flamethrowers.
97 sinker splits the plate, and all Shohei could do was follow it straight back again. Those challenge pitches are easier to do when you throw as hard as Garrett Cole is, and Alec made a great mention of the pitch delivery, because again, it's kind of slowed up and then it comes right at you on the fastball. Most times reaching base in franchise history in the postseason, Muncy was 17 in the 2024 NLCS. Shohei had 17 as well. These are the two guys that have been a thorn in the side. 2-2 from Cole to Ohtani. What a knuckle curve! He got Ohtani swinging, and Cole gets out of it.
Well, it'll look to be trouble for Cole when he got to that 2-2 count, but not so fast right there as Ohtani chased that knuckle curve. Usually it's one of the toughest pitches to hit against, and Cole made sure of that.
Man, oh man, that knuckle curve started pretty much middle of the plate and dropped right off the table. No chance for Ohtani, as these pitchers are really in lockstep early. Again, Alec going to get set to take it over, but I'll just reset this for you real quick. Just 2 hits for the Yankees, 1 hit, 1 error for the Dodgers. That's all we got as we're going to the 4th.
It's a well-pitched match in a chess duel between Cole and Flaherty. So far, so good between them, and they're pitching to the level that they're hyped up to be. When Cole signed that contract, and when Flaherty came over to the Dodgers at the trade deadline, there may be the feeling that he could stay because the Dodgers need a pitching next season. They could run it back with the same core that got them here. That's if everyone sticks around.
I think that's probably a good call on your part, Alec, because as you mentioned, with Jack Flaherty being a free agent as well, I know it's going to command some money, but let's be honest, for the Dodgers and a team like the Yankees, their pocketbook is boundless. So I don't think they're going to care about the money as much. They just need guys to stay healthy. And you're right, with everyone else that's already locked in with the Dodgers, let's say they don't win it and the Yankees win it. Well, you're pretty much going to be seeing the same Dodgers team next year, with just as good of a chance to go back to the World Series again.
Yeah, the main question about the Dodgers is age, so they should have a good enough chance to get him back there. But they figured that you could go younger along the core, having Edman get more reps at shortstop because of the injury to Miguel Rojas. I think Edman could be the primary guy at the shortstop position. Plus, with the age factor that sells in, you wonder if they can hold up with the same ability that they have right now. Just remember about the Dodgers' ages. Freddie Freeman's 35. Mookie Betts is 32. Teoscar Hernandez, 32. Chris Taylor, 34. Kike Hernandez, 33. Kevin Kiermaier's not going to be on the team anymore. This year will be his last. He did say that he'll retire by season's end.
Yeah, so to your point, I agree with that. You might see more of like Andy Pajes and some of the other people to try to figure that out. I mean, hell, they had James Outman there for a while, but he just wasn't hitting well enough. But I still think he's got some promise. And you're right, they probably sprinkle in more of that youth so the rest of these guys can stay healthy and try to make another run again next year.
Yeah, that too. Bueller, he's 30, but injury troubles may be coming up to him. Plus, we don't know if Clayton Kershaw's going to stay for another go-around. He's 36, and we don't know if he's going to stay with L.A. Who knows if we see the last of him as a Dodger, if he's going to go somewhere else. But I figured if I'm Kershaw, probably take a team-friendly deal to stay and give them another chance at winning.
If I'm him, I'm retiring as a Dodger. I'm not going anywhere else.
On point there, John. I fully agree with you. As Jack Flaherty's back on, that's a knuckle curve downstairs for Giancarlo Stanton. As he takes a 1-0 count, 11 RBIs, and a team-leading 5 home runs for Giancarlo. 1-0, skied up. It's in the line of play at right field. Mookie Betts, the former Boston man, makes the catch at right field.
I know, Alec, you can talk a little bit about Giancarlo's contract and whether or not it's good or whatnot, but I mean, basically, he's doing everything they could ask for in the postseason.
Yeah, even though he missed a lot of time, ever since he signed that contract in 2018, he's been performing to expectations when he signed the contract, coming over from the Miami Marlins. Even though he and Jazz Chisholm never played together in Miami, they both delivered on the pinstripes. Aaron Boone getting interviewed over at the Yankee dugout by the Fox crew. 55th pitch for Flaherty. It's a bouncer. This will be collected by Lux, and he delivers right for Freddie Freeman to put away Jazz.
I want to make sure I didn't jump all over you, Mr. Nava. They got to be careful here because Garrett Cole's not even going to get a chance to take his jacket off.
He's not careful. You think of that. Anthony Rizzo now, wearing the number 48 or the number 44 on north side Chicago. And so far, his batting average doesn't seem real right now. 467. He takes strike one to right center, but a 467 batting average at this point in time. Yeah, he's played just one series, but that's almost never unheard of.
I'd have to think that's even higher than anything when he won the World Series with the Cubs. That's ridiculous.
It sure is. That team had a load of talent with them as well. Chris Bryant, Brent Zobrist leading the way. Those two come to mind. Dexter Fowler, David Ross, who used to be a manager of the Cubs previously. A bad favorite catcher, 2-1 on the count, so 2 balls, 1 strike, as this one was outside right. And that team had Aroldis Chapman too.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, a big swing and miss. Forward and over, knuckle curve.
Yeah, yes, Alec, his knuckle curve has been absolutely devastating.
And that's what Dodgers fans love from Jack Flaherty, his signature knuckle curve in between some fastballs. The next pitch will be Flaherty's 60th at the top of the 4th on a 2-2 count, and the sea of blue is waving their towels here. Flaherty readies up. The 2-2. Fly ball left field. Teoscar on base, and that puts away Rizzo. 1, 2, 3, and out.
Well, you know, the interesting part, I thought I made a good point when they get to the second inning with Flaherty's pitch count. Say, I want to watch that a little bit, try to make sure you get some ground into contact, get some easy outs. Well, Jack Flaherty must have hurt us there on the side of the broadcast because he was cruising these next 2 innings. And that was the point I made about Garrett Cole. He wasn't able to really even get his jacket off as Jack Flaherty cruised through that right now. He's already got to go back out to the mound.
And you know what wasn't a cruise? The Vegas Golden Knights win over the Ottawa Senators. They actually scored 3 goals to take the win away from the Sens in the final 4 minutes. More precisely, in the final 3.5 minutes. Tomas Hertl tied it on the power play. Keegan Kolasar got the winning goal exactly a minute after. Ivan Barbashev for insurance, 7th of the year, and it's on an empty net.
I was going to ask you, Alec, I didn't want to jump in between the World Series coverage until we got those commercials, so good work on your end. I thought Vegas was up by the other team was up by about 3 goals in Ottawa, but I guess Vegas came back and they took down a pretty good Ottawa team. I know we talked about them having to deal with some goaltending issues as well with Linus Ullmark, but hasn't really bothered them right now not having him, but Vegas able to get a big comeback victory.
Boy, it is. Linus Ullmark on paper gives the Senators the legitimate starting goaltender. So far, it's been much of the up and down. And with Steve Sales prioritizing a team that can deliver with structure instead of the big name players that previous general manager Pierre Dorian was going after when he was after Eugene Melnick's passing. So the big name players, it did work out with Claude Giroux Alex DeBrincat, not so much. But you want to have a more complete team as much as possible. And with Josh Norris back into the lineup, they think that it can work. Mike Amadio delivering on a solid third line between him, Pinto, and Ridley Gray. But so far, it's been mixed results. Ottawa's up to a surprisingly good start on a 4-3-0 run. We see how long this goes up. Another surprise team I want to get to, Calgary. They were 5-1-0 to 5-1 to begin with. They got their first regulation loss against Carolina, but so far, early results have been promising for Calgary. We wonder how long this keeps up.
Same thing, and I agree with you. And just one last thing before we get into this. I was almost thinking Seattle was going to beat Winnipeg last night, but Winnipeg was able to get the victory.
And speaking of Winnipeg, where did they come from being the last undefeated team?
We always knew they had talent. It's just whether or not they put everything together to make a postseason run. That's what I'm waiting on.
But an undefeated run when they start the season 7-0-0, we didn't expect this at all from them. They were good enough for playoffs. I didn't expect them to start out undefeated. They were. First pitch for Mookie on the left line. You could not place that any better if you're Garrett Cole. It's 0-1 on the count.
Well, perfect there on the curve again. He's trying to match everything with Jack Flaherty, and his pitch count at 38 is in fantastic shape.
That curveball was fouled, so that fastball was lined up perfectly towards that left line. Mookie Betts, who faced the Yankees before in his Red Sox years, he got a cycle, but he didn't have the first postseason cycle in MLB history. That honor belongs to Brock Holt, who was, to this day, the only postseason cycle in MLB history. 0-2, no swing is outside left, 1-2.
Brock Holt's not a name that you think about very much, but you also kind of throw him in the same category of David Freese, correct? Sometimes you get underrated postseason heroes.
Yeah, that's the thing there is, did he go with they're checking his swing at first? He is safe. 2-2 on the count. Mookie almost went after that one. 2018 AL MVP and an 8-time All-Star. And he's a former Gold Glove winner as well. 41st pitch for Cole is the 2-2. Up in the air. At right field. Backing up is Rizzo. Stepping up is Soto. Rizzo wins the race on Soto. One other one away.
Rizzo with a behind the back essential catch there. He had to range a little bit from the first base side to get that one. That's a pretty good defensive play.
And he had to take off his cap and watching his ball go up, kind of like a wide receiver.
Good work there for Anthony Rizzo, man. He's locked in.
Yeah. And usually you think of that St. Louis Cardinals team, you think of Albert Pujols and Les Berkman in between. Those are the two names you think of first with that 2011 Cardinals. As on the right line, 0-1 on the count off that cutter towards Freddie.
You're thinking about some of those names, Alec. Those are absolute Hall of Famers that can also play a good defensive first base.
Bounce being ball foul, right back. 0-2 count. Freddie at the plate. We have no runs just yet. But by now, at this point down in the first game of the World Series, you already have runners who scored in. And at this point, we might have seen a home run or two. Maybe. We just don't know yet. 0-2 count. Freeman against Cole. Yet another foul ball. This one instead is a Boone slashed beyond the right field line.
I think,
that is broken too.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman's going to need a new piece of wood. Garrett Cole split that thing completely in half.
Yeah, he did. That's how fast that pitch is. You would think that this would be more susceptible. The water the milers are more susceptible to broken bats. You would think that of the likes of Aroldis Chapman. Fans chanting, "Let's go Dodgers," along with this organ. Freeman gets his due bat. The two right after Freddie are Teoscar and Mad Max. And an 0-2 count, Freeman, a lefty at the plate. That ankle is something to watch. On this 0-2, line drive to right. This will approach Rizzo, and he will run up to first. He beats out Freeman. So he wins the race on Juan Soto. He wins the race on Freddie Freeman. 2 up and 2 away.
Alec, you got to see this on the replay. 2 straight broken bats for Garrett Cole on Freddie Freeman. What are the odds of that? We have a better chance of winning the lottery.
If I had a quarter for every time that happened, we'd have a $50 right now. It's not a lot, but it's amazing and absolutely incredible how it happened twice in a row.
This is crazy. We've already seen a lot of things I don't think we've already should have saw in this game, but we're still scoreless. This game's been a lot of fun. It's Teoscar Hernandez against Garrett Cole.
After a 1-0, this next pitch on the way, foul drive right. Teoscar didn't have a hit in the NLCS until Game 6, 0-for-18, 3-4 Game 6.
That's hard to believe. And then he's got a matchup against Garrett Cole right now. It's no fun when you're slumping a little bit at the plate.
The 1-1 is on the way here from Cole. Outside left, 2-1 count, and it's on a sinker at 97. It's always a big spectacle to watch Garrett Cole pitch. If you're a Pirates fan, Astros fan, or Yankee fan, absolute sorcery as on display there, right on cue. The cutter was upstairs, but Teoscar chased it, evens the count.
Yeah, he made Teoscar look silly on that one as he tried to chase it way outside the zone. Again, you're just trying to time that fastball. You can mix in that cutter, slider, changeup. It's really difficult to pick up what Garrett Cole's doing right now.
And he is. Next pitch will be his 50th on this 2-2. And Teoscar had second fastball going after that one. It's 3-2 on the count. It's full, 2 outs. And Shohei Ohtani chatting with some of his teammates over at the Dodger dugout. Hey, I wonder who he is talking to. Probably the next man up at the plate. I don't know. I'll have to find out. Payoff pitch. Got popped up. And it's over at the shortstop side. On the spot, Anthony Volpe. That ends the 4th.
So Garrett Cole goes 1-2-3, chops fireboard a couple times against Freddie Freeman. He looks locked in. Jack Flaherty's starting to get that pitch count order. He looked locked in the last couple of innings. Right now, we're in the middle of a pitcher's duels. We're scoreless. We're heading to the 5th.
Low-scoring battle, and you're not knowing who is going to prevail in such a pitching battle. So far, it's been evenly balanced. We didn't know who was going to prevail when the Rangers and the Astros went up against each other in Game 1 of last year's ALCS. It ended up being Jordan Montgomery prevailing over Justin Verlander. I didn't know who was going to prevail in Game 5 of that NLDS between the Padres and the Dodgers, but it ended up being the Dodgers. It was very tight and too close to call. Nobody was getting right by. The only 2 runs given up were solo home runs from the 2 Hernandezes.
Yeah, I think from what you just spoke into for the history, Alec, that might be what we're seeing right now that could happen to either one of these starting pitchers. And what I mean by that is they're so locked in right now. Yeah, there's a propensity that maybe you hang a fastball and one of these offenses hits a home run over the fence. That could happen, but we're really not seeing either one of these starting pitchers right now give up a bunch of hits in a row. It doesn't look like it's going to be that type of day.
No, it doesn't. I doubt that either of these 2 pitchers would give up multiple hits in a row. And I feel that the only time it would happen, it might be on an error.
Right. I agree with you completely. We're in lockstep here. We're in the middle of this pitching duel, as we talked about. And Alec just mentioned the previous history from some of these teams about some home runs and what we could see. Maybe that's what we'll get. We'll get 1 or 2 here, but that's all we're seeing right now. I think the main thing as we go along, we're going to the 5th already as this game's flying by. But the main thing we might see, maybe once we get to the bullpen, we might see some damage start to hit, but Flaherty and Cole are locked in. Flaherty's been able to use his defense a little bit more. Just 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Garrett Cole, just 3 strikeouts, but his plus-minus with bats broken is already at 2. I think he might get some more, as it's going to be Volpe, Walls, and Verdugo, bottom half, ready to go for the Bronx Bombers. We're just waiting to get some hits in this game.
We need to. It's been a while since we last saw some hits. 2 for the Yanks, 1 for the Dodgers with that error by Tommy Edman. So far, it's a battle where every hit is firm.
Yeah, and it feels like when you have your starters here, as you talk about with Flaherty and Cole, this is what you pay these guys to be able to get done. Flaherty, we'll see how much he's going to get. He's back out there now. 92 on a fastball as it's 0-1 against Volpe. Flaherty only 61 pitches into his day. Volpe hitting 300 in the postseason, just one RBI, but he is able to make consistent contact. You need to do that now. You can't do it on a slider, though. Make it 0-2.
The only hits being from Gleyber Torres, Anthony Rizzo for the Yanks, Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers. It may be a matter of time when we get our next hit, or if we even get a hit for the remainder of the 9 regular innings. But I feel it's when because it's scoreless.
Absolutely. And Jack Flaherty might as well change his middle name to Knuckle Curve because he absolutely got Volpe there and made that look easy. One up, one down here to begin this fifth.
So this pitching duel is exactly how it is hyped up to be. Even though Volpe is usually a good shortstop, he is just chasing Volpe. The ball was thrown by Flaherty. That time was a beautiful sequence for Flaherty. 3 straight strikes, and Volpe was chasing one that went down. Billie Eilish at the scene here at Dodger Stadium. We do a little celebrity watch around Dodger Stadium. Will Arnett, John Legend. Hey, someone check out on Rob Lowe.
I'm sure he's probably there as well. They showed John and Jim Harbaugh. Again, I'm just wondering if he can go back there from the Chargers and mix in with the Wolverines a little bit too on the Saturday and Sunday.
I believe that's his father, Jack Harbaugh. I think John may be prepping up for the next Ravens game.
Oh, thank you. My bad. Yeah, that was his dad, Jack. I thought I just had John Harbaugh on the brain, but you're correct. Again, you'll be able to see them there. Well, it's not that much of a drive. You're already with the Chargers, coach, correct? So you might as well go take in a baseball game.
Yeah, enjoy the scenes here over at historic Dodger Stadium. It's a lot of history to the stadium, after all.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It would definitely be one that I want to visit. This one blocked for Smith, but nobody on base, as it's a 2-2 count that'll be swelled against Austin Wells. Again, for Austin Wells, I'll go back into my side of the notes here. 25-year-old. He did platoon a little bit with Jose Trevino, but his numbers ballooned a little bit at the beginning of the year. But since the postseason, he struggled. He's moved back down to 8th. He's been a middle of the order bat. They had Giancarlo bring the Thunder a little bit more to kind of fix that. Another knuckle curve for Jack Flaherty. And back-to-back batters go fishing. He's locked in.
On cue, Jack Flaherty turning it back to the Tigers days in the beginning of the season. It's like we're rewatching him when he was the number 2 pitcher right behind Tariq Skubal. And now that he's over in LA, he hasn't lost that magic 1 bit. That curveball, intense, and it's pulled out back-to-back batters.
Yeah, you said it right, Alec. And again, I'm thinking about it. There probably is a lot of pressure on Jack Flaherty. You think about that last starting with the 8 runs, as you mentioned, and then you go into this. I don't even think that's in Jack Flaherty's mind right now. The fact that he's going against Garrett Cole, or maybe some of the pressure that he's got to deal with right now, it's just him versus his opponents. He's doing a darn good job.
He is lock and key, right as you mentioned it, John.
So 71 pitches. Tommy Edman leaps. Tries to make the catch and left, but this will be served as a soft single for Verdugo. He'll take it. It'll turn up the top of the order there for Gleyber Torres. Edman made a healthy stab at it, tried to get a leap at short. Just couldn't get enough distance on that one. That was a good hit for Verdugo.
So in the Yankees' minds, it would be that Verdugo's part of the bad guys in the last 4 years. Now he's with their good, what do you see as the good guys themselves. And Verdugo, he delivered a line drive right over the glove of Tommy Edman. It felt like there was a play there, but when you look at it closer sight, it might have went up so close, just grazed off the tip of the catching glove. I don't think it was as right there for Edman. I thought it was, but in the end it wasn't because it was just out of reach.
Yeah, it would have been a tough play. He's deep at the shortstop side, tried to make an effort. That almost looked like the same distance when he tried to gun out Gleyber Torres as who's up to the deck now when he made that bomb toss over to first from short. Just didn't get Torres with the foot speed. Now Torres do the same thing. This will be toward third. That's a good pickup off the bounce from Muncy. Makes that look easy as he tosses over to first. Flaherty gives up the hit, nothing more. We'll go bottom 5. We're still scoreless.
And don't get me wrong for Max Muncy. Even though there was a hit towards the third base side, with him chasing after this ball, it was a bouncer. Not an easy play to make. It's a tough play. Basically reminded me of the last out of the 2016 World Series, the one in which Rizzo was part of, when Chris Bryant made the play chasing after the ball on the inside of the infield. Not an easy play to make. You have to scoop it up, but Muncy made it look easy.
Yeah, yes, he did. I think you said that exactly right. As the defense continues to work, Flaherty, a couple more punches there in the 5th. He's locked in. And now it's back to moving the chess piece to Garrett Cole, Alec. I feel that's what we're doing. You know, sometimes they talk about playing chess and playing checkers. I think both of these pitchers are playing chess right now. And if I'm Aaron Boone and I'm Dave Roberts, I'm just hoping they keep the pitch count low so they can stay out there.
Yeah, keep it right around the 100 pitch mark. You want to have this go as long as possible. And for Eileen Flaherty, who is Jack Flaherty's mom, by the way, she has to be enjoying this pitching duel with Jack prevailing, but also Garrett Cole is prevailing on this pitching duel. They're both prevailing. I think they could both be winners in either case. Whoever lasts the longer, I think will be credited as the winner of this game. But nonetheless, if I'm Dave Roberts or Aaron Boone, there's a lot of questions to go about throughout. What do you do with your bats? There's no question about your pitching staff for this game. But will the bats quick? Might be a matter of time.
Yeah, it might be Alec, and I guess the one thing I would say, as far as any kind of color analysis for either one of us, if I'm these batters up at the bat rack here, I know you don't want to go to an 0-2 count because you're susceptible to a strikeout for as good as Flaherty and Cole are. But maybe just try to get bat on ball, get some foul balls, and work that pitch count a little bit. You got to get these guys out of their rhythm.
Yeah, you got it. If you want to get them a little shaky, saying if you want to work them deep into the 6th inning, maybe into the 7th inning, that's when the shine starts to rust off. That's where I feel like typically for pitchers. Usually it's the 7th inning when the shine starts to rust off. But one time, when it was in a game between the Royals and the Orioles, Corbin Burns went until the 8th inning. That's because he was pitching himself a solid outing. While he took credit for the loss, it was not his fault that the Orioles bats couldn't quit.
No, it wasn't. And again, when you talk about Corbin Burns going in the 8th, that's like some of these guys old school pitching 15, 16 innings. It just doesn't happen anymore for Corbin Burns to even go 8. But right now, from what we're telling you, between Flaherty and Cole, it's a possibility you could see these guys go at least a 7th or 8th inning. Again, Garrett Cole's out there. 5, 6, and 7 is Max Muncy. It's pretty much the way that it works. If you're the last guy to make a defensive play, you're usually the first one to go ahead and be at the bat rack. It just always seems to happen. As Max Muncy tries to bunt, but this is 0-2.
Not usually you would bunt when the bases are empty. Usually you do that when there's a runner on base. I would advise bunting when their bases are empty, though.
I'm wondering if there is any sort of shift there alongside Jazz Chisholm is the only reason why they might be picking that up. Again, the camera didn't show it, but Jazz has such good speed at that third base side. I would advise, I agree with you, against bunting if I'm Max Muncy, as it's 54 pitches into Garrett Cole's day. It's a 1-2 count against Max, and Cole's probably going to throw a fastball. It's usually what he does. And that's exactly what happens to Muncy. He punches out on a pitch way up high, and it's the first out of the bottom 5.
Max Muncy would usually bring power. He was strong enough to go after that one. You may be thinking if he's going to chase after a ball, he would usually be going after those sorts of pitches. It backfired on him.
I'm going to tell you this, Alec, again. It's a little shameful that I got to do Waterford Shark stuff, and I'm going to miss game 2 because I want to call that one with you. But I'm glad that we can do this opener because this pitching matchup that we've seen between the two, this might be the best that we get through the entire series. It's been fun to watch.
And it has been. So fun to watch in this pitching matchup. Seeing old school baseball right in front of our very eyes.
Yeah, I think you said it right. Kike Hernandez already 0-2 against it. By the time Alec and I even have a little bit of our side-by-side, and we're giving you the play-by-play, But essentially, when I do that, it's pretty much these batters already down 0-2. That's the way that it's been going for both of these starters here as 98 gets fouled straight back from Kike.
He could be going after that one if he wants to take a big shot. October moments are what he does best. Whether it be with the Dodgers or the Red Sox, no matter where he's at, he can deliver. That's why the Dodgers brought him back.
Absolutely. Again, they're just waiting for somebody, anybody. They don't care if they take somebody out of the crowd right now. Got to get one of these pitchers out of their rhythm as it's scoreless. We're one out in the bottom fifth. Garrett Cole's got a 0-2 count against Kike. Pitch number 59, 97. This one grooved and cannot make the play as Soto. This is going to bounce to the wall. Kike is going to be able to run for days. He's got a chance to get a stand-up triple with one out.
That we saw Billie Eilish, that the organist begins to play Billie Eilish music. That's the first point. On the other point, the line drive to right was too far for Soto. It was way out of his reach, and he was chasing going at the right field wall. He took a while to get to that ball, and then as soon as he picked it up, KK was right there at third base for the triple. Same spot same place where that Freddie Freeman was at, but opposite side, up taking a friendly bounce off that wall, and a little misstep by that right fielder. That time around for Juan Soto. First time was Alex Verdugo. This time Juan Soto. A misstep may have helped Kike, as like the way Freddie was helped out by a misstep.
I don't disagree, Alec. I think that Juan Soto trying to cut off that ball in right field had so much momentum. We saw in the camera shot, he just couldn't stop. He had to brace himself and then go get the baseball. That's why Kike is able to be at third. He probably should only be at second, as the first fastball against Will Smith fouled back. Will Smith trying to get the first run of the game. Essentially, it's an extra 90 feet that could be costly because a deep fly ball could get the first run of the game for the Dodgers. Again, Kike is the one that tries to deliver the magic. We talked about that many times already. 1-1, 92. He'll go right to where Soto is. This is shallow. Kike is going to turn on the burners. Toss. Can't get the tag in. And it gets a sacrifice RBI. Does Will Smith? The Dodgers are on the board.
Usually when it's deep enough, it would be good enough to score a run. Kike tries this, even though this was a shallow ball, and it may have as well have paid off. Juan Soto didn't take a misstep this time around, but he was going too fast with too much momentum. The throw not in time, even though it was caught out here by Austin Wells. He tried to get the tag instantaneously. But nonetheless, that's a nice delivery from Will Smith and Kike Hernandez. The Dodgers old Mr. October. I don't want to put that Reggie Jackson moniker, but Kike reached out. The tag was not there. And even so, even if Austin Wells were to make the tag, it would be too late already.
And you're right, Alec. You don't have to put that tag on there just because I used it. I'm the one that said that with Kike because I feel like he's in that conversation when you're hitting around 300. Again, that extra 90 feet there that Juan Soto was not able to cut off. I mean, right now you would think about it to be scoreless with a runner at third. Who knows what's going to happen with Gavin Lux? But right now, that is the difference in this game. As Will Smith gets a sacrifice RBI that scores Kike Hernandez, and the Dodgers on the board here early. That also gives Jack Flaherty a little bit of semblance of run support. I don't think it's going to shake Garrett Cole's confidence whatsoever, but it is important now to kind of shut off any other sort of runs as we get a little commercial half and half. It's 1-0 against Gavin Lux. Garrett Cole gives up the first blemish. I really don't think it was on him, though, as this is a fastball that gets fouled straight back. Make it 1-1.
I doubt that Cole's confidence is shaken here after that run given up. And even so, you're still in a good position if you're the Yankees. You're down right behind, but it's just by one. So, not worst case scenario for the Bronx Bombers.
No, it's not. As we continue to follow along, again, I'll be typing in a little bit of notes here. Just occasionally, I want to make sure I don't want to miss in the first run. The game story has been short right now, though, because it's been all about the pitching. 1-1, 97. So Gavin Lux, I'll tell you this right now, bottom fifth, he's been the one Dodger that we've seen right now that's been on this fastball. It's been up and high, and Lux had some good swings, but he followed it straight back.
Oh, I apologize if I had some hiccups over the background, but nonetheless, Gavin Lux, he's one of those Dodgers again in the star-studded lineup. Lux brought in for a very recent performing up with the rest of the Dodgers. 68-15 was scoring first. That's the best record in MLB. And they're 5-1 in such games this postseason.
So Gavin Lux is going to serve this one right to Judge. Doesn't even have to move, but the damage has been done. It's only been one. Will Smith with a sacrifice RBI drives in the Kike Hernandez, who got from third. It's 1-0 Dodgers as we go to the sixth.
Judge will bat second on his third go-around. He's 0 for 2, however, with 2 strikeouts. He has to get his batting average up. So previously, I feel like there was a point that was being made. So I feel that the Yankees, there's no doubt from Juan Soto and Giancarlo Stanton right now. Stanton, he's 0 for 2, however, and it feels like this series may depend on if their top-end talent comes alive here, especially Judge. There's no doubt about Soto and Stanton. They're the 2 hottest batters right now. Judge, however, has been riding cold, and his postseason reputation has been up and down. Regular season is fine. Postseason is a different story for Judge. He has to turn it on here and center.
Yeah, he does. Again, I heard some of the commentary pregame in between David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, and Derek Jeter, and they mentioned forget about Aaron Judge going 4 for 10 for 4 singles. They made the specific point where they said, I'd rather he go 2 for 14 with a 3-run shot and a 2-run shot. Again, you could take it or leave it, but that's what they're talking about. Just try to get the damage when you can. But we'll see what they can do right now. Your point's well taken, Alec. And I will say this. I think the rest of the Yankees, not just Judge, but I agree with you. But somebody's got to figure it out right now. They got to score some runs.
I mean, you want to tie this up at 1 apiece or even take the lead if Juan Soto gets on base and Aaron Judge there. Speaking of tying it up, the Islanders and Devils tied at 3 right now. Yes, for Bravo for minute 29. The extra attacker out, he's tied it up. We could see overtime barring another goal at the Rock.
It's definitely a possibility. Alec, I'm going to step away just for 1 minute. I'll be right back, my friend.
To get the rundown here, it's 1-0 Dodgers at the end of 5. We'll be going into the 6th inning. Garrett Cole and Jack Flaherty each have pitched 5 innings. Cole has struck out 4, allowing 2 hits and an earned run that was on a sacrifice fly to right field by Will Smith to score in Kike Hernandez. The Dodgers, on the other hand, Jack Flaherty pitching 5 innings, along 3 hits and a walk, but has struck out 5. Flaherty has thrown 74 pitches so far. Cole has pitched 66 times. So that lone score was Will Smith's sac fly. Kike Hernandez was the one that scored. The Dodgers are 68-15 when scoring first in the regular season, 5-1 in postseason play. Both marks among the MLB's best. We'll see if that continues on for the Dodgers, if they continue to hold on to this in this pitching duel. Back on Kike Hernandez. Back over to third base position. And between them, we have the starters comparison between Cole and Flaherty. So as we return, Flaherty gets it to deliver to Soto at top center, 94 on the fastball right towards Juan Soto, former National, former Padre. On the 0-1. And as downstairs, by a slight bit, knuckle curve used by Cole this time around, and that works out to Soto's favor. It is 1-1 as Flaherty is getting set, warming up. We see something from Soto. Now that pitch is way outside, 2-1. Now our reliever that's warming up right now for the Dodgers is Anthony Bonda. He'll be the first one on. Indicates that Flaherty is pulled. Don't know when that's going to be. As a swing and a miss from Soto, he chased the ball, a breaking ball that is 2-2 on the count. 78 pitches so far. On this 2-2, and that's over the glove of Tommy Edmonds. A base hit for Juan Soto. He's on board.
It's funny, Alec. We just talked about Juan Soto. Now that's going to lead up to Aaron Judge. Jack Flaherty really hasn't been in trouble all day. 15 strikeouts and 33 at bats for Aaron Judge. Is this the time for big number 99?
He's 6'7". You wonder if that big power bat's going to pull through. We talked about Judge over at the break. If a home run can do wonders for the Yankees, a Bronx bomb could connect. Not now. It's a fastball 91 that was downstairs. But this postseason, Judge has struck out 15 times in his 33 at-bats. Not good.
No, it doesn't look like Aaron Judge is comfortable. Again, he does get a lot of heavy dose of pitches, correct, where it's outside the zone and he's got to use his eye, but it looks like he's just trying too hard to hit the big shot.
Feels like that as well. 2-0 count. We'll see if Judge can connect and hit a home run that is over at center field. 2-run. Oh, big swing and a miss. Chase that curveball that was just downstairs. Flaherty fooled him that time.
Yeah, he's been able to go to that knuckle curve whenever he needs a strike.
2-1. I know New York sports is definitely enjoying this right now. Found you right. And yes, it is Devils and Islanders going to overtime. Knotted up at 3. Aaron Judge 62 home runs, which is the most in franchise history. For the Yankees, 58 this year, which is 5th most. So a pickup attempt not there for Jack Flaherty as Soto reaches back safely.
Soto doesn't have a ton of speed, but if this happens to be a full count here, do you even entertain moving the runners?
Maybe. I just don't know. It could be a realistic possibility. The count is full, as is mentioned. You called it right there. You think about having Soto run if this is going to be a stolen base opportunity. Could be on the docket. Dodgers lead 1-0. Giancarlo Stanton, former Marlin, is on deck. Payoff pitch. Big swing and a miss on the left line. And it looks like Judge is not looking comfortable here at Dodger Stadium.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, Alec, because again, you've watched more of the postseason coverage than I have, but I think we can say it. Aaron Judge, he took a fastball that he probably would normally put toward the wall, and he struck out on that. He just doesn't look like himself right now.
Definitely not. Oh, Stanton chased after ball, and which he went golfing after. That is a no-no. 0-1.
Yeah, again, it's either Flaherty's got all these guys messed up, or they're looking to try to just hit it out of the park when they just can continue to move the line. We'll see what happens.
There's another curveball that Stanton chased. 0-2.
Man, oh man, he's got him in the rocking chair right now.
Usually these bats would be on point for the Yankees. It's just not there for them right now. Giancarlo Stanton, game 1, 439 feet. When the home runs to the ALCS side, he was in. Oh my goodness, that was way upstairs for Jack Flaherty. That fastball, I think he tended to throw a curveball.
Yeah, good thing Will Smith was able to jump out of the crouch. My goodness.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's one of the slower fastballs that he has delivered. 1-2 pitch, Soto at first. On the way. High, fly ball, deep left field. If he's fair, he's got a home run. And it is big Giancarlo Stanton. Welcome to the World Series.
You know, we talk about this a lot. We mentioned it between Judge and Soto. Get all the headlines. What did I say in the open? If Stanton gets one hit, it's probably a home run. That was not a bad pitch from Flaherty. That was low, way out of the zone. And Stanton said, Oppo, I'm taking this big fly.
They're going up and flying about here for their all over New York and the Bronx. And Giancarlo Stanton carrying over from his sorcery in the ALCS. That's his 6th home run this postseason. What an unbelievable run for the big man.
Yeah, that's incredible. Again, I'm looking at this pitch right now. I'm not going to say he goes down to his right knee to go get that one, but he definitely had to reach for it. And then he just hits an absolute tape measure away from the foul pole in the left field. A primal scream from Rizzo, a visible reaction from Flaherty. He's on the hook for a loss right now as he's going to get pulled by Dave Roberts, but he had an excellent outing.
90 pitches and you feel that Dave Roberts is saying, well, you did your part, but, we want to have the momentum right back. I understand the reaction of Dave Roberts, but Flaherty, I feel it may get to this point where the pitchers start to break down in terms of the luster right there. I feel it's at this point, it's understandable pulling Flaherty, and then you get Anthony Banda in. He's the first reliever onto the mound for LA. He was the first one at the bullpen, and it's understandable who you want to go to. The Dodgers, they will not have Evan Phillips on the rotation to start this World Series. He had an injury in Game 6, so he won't be here to begin with.
Yeah, I agree with you, Alec, and I'll just say this honestly. Again, we mentioned this before, the Stanton just ridiculous home run that he hit in left field, and that was another tape measure. You can talk about Soto and judge all you want, but right now Stanton has cemented himself as the cleanup hitter. If you get anyone on base and it gets late toward the game, I guess Stanton's going to clean up with the rest right now, and the Yankees are fine.
He is Soto quicking. The team is quicking. And for him to deliver that home run, he may solidify himself as a true Bronx Bomber if he were to have that stand as a miracle home run for the Yankees, trying to win title number 28 to put the 4 championship ahead of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, that's crazy when you think about the history there for the Yankees. Again, long time for baseball. It's been a proud franchise, and again, we mentioned what the 15 years before the previous one in the World Series alongside Derek Jeter and company. But yeah, this is a franchise that pretty much, Alec, fair or unfair, as soon as they step on the field every year, it's World Series or bust.
Given the payroll, it's always the expectation with the Yankees. They'll do anything they can to get any big name players towards them, free agency or even trading for them. That's the goal. World Series or bust. They understood the assignment this offseason when they got Juan Soto in a big trade. It may be evenly balanced between them with Soto delivering, but if Soto helps the Yankees to a World Series title, it's officially a win for the Yankees.
Yeah, I agree, Alec. I don't know if there's going to be any sort of point where you even think about, re-signing him or not. But yeah, you're right. That's exactly what they brought him in here for. They knew what the assignment was. Hell, I think they went in the offseason knowing, let's put our work in and let the rest of it take care for itself. Now it's up to Anthony Banda to try to make sure to keep the scoreline right where it is.
That may be his task. 17 career postseason runs for Giancarlo Stanton. Banda throws his first pitch, evens the count 1-1. Flaherty delivered the first ball here. Banda struck out 7 batters through this postseason in 6 games. And with Evansville himself, a roster substitution is made. Alex Vesia is now on the roster. 2-1 as this one spiked to the dirt. So Vesia was injured from the entirety of the NLCS. He suffered an injury in Game 5 in that Padres series. And now up against Chisholm Jr. Dave Roberts watching onwards. Big swing and a miss. Chases slider that was downstairs.
Jazz is another one of those guys that likes the bright lights. Again, Stanton kind of woke everybody up here on the Yankees. We'll see if Jazz comes through.
And even count to a piece. Why try to rise a base hit? You like Jazz? Because he's at first base.
As we mentioned, Alec, he's got a ton of speed as well. So if the Yankees want to try to get an extra 90 feet, that's definitely possible because Rizzo has been a guy that's been locked in. So I would expect him to make contact with the baseball.
That's the expectation that Chisholm Jr. would make contact with that baseball and break it. Double play still in the books here from Anthony Rizzo up. And we speak of New York sports as Rizzo takes strike 1 of the right center side. It's been a good night so far for New York. The Islanders win 4-3 in overtime thanks to Bo Horvat.
I guess I'll take that as good news for both of us.
And the Knicks are blowing out the Pacers right now.
That's what I was just talking about as we go back into our baseball game, whether or not Anthony Rizzo makes contact. Jazz Chisholm's got the speed. Looks like he had the green light.
And it looked like it's that. We don't know. 448 batting average for Anthony Rizzo, World Series champion. And here comes Chisholm. There will not be a play at second. He will steal the bag.
That's good work there. I really like that from Aaron Boone. We know what Jazz Chisholm's going to do with all those steals that he's got, but it puts you in scoring position now where a single can give them an extra run.
It could. An extra run on the way. But if it's back towards that third base side, there might not be a play towards third base for the Yankees as Bonda looks to second. The 1-1. A foul tip towards that left field side. 1-2 on the count. Look at the postseason home runs in franchise history. Stanton's up to fourth in that list. Aaron Judge at fifth with 15. The most is Bernie Williams with 22. Derek Jeter with 20. Then Mickey Mantle 18. So that's the top three among the Yankees franchise history among most postseason home runs. So there's a reason why they retired Bernie Williams' number.
Absolutely. He's just automatic when it came to the postseason.
Can we speak of core four? How about core five between Jeter, Posada, Rivera, Pettit, Williams? 1-2 on the way. Big blow, swing, and a miss. No movement for Rizzo towards the bases. He'll sit down.
I'm going to tell you, I got that one completely wrong. I didn't see that happening there for Rizzo. I guess good on Jazz Chisholm to take the extra 90 feet. And then I'll just steal with you on the play-by-play. They're not even going to give Volpe the opportunity. They're going to leave it up to Austin Wells, who's been struggling. So 2 outs, runners first and second.
And he did put 4 fingers up. Just like what Gary Ford was suggesting right for Gleyber Torres.
It's not even going to mess around with that. You might as well put the guy that isn't doing so well to the bat rack.
So, this is going to single him to first. Have Volpe over there and have Austin Wells. It may give the advantage to the Dodgers because Wells is having his struggles at the bats. So it might just work for LA here.
I think it's the right call. I think it's what you got to do right now. Make sure Bonda just gets out of this. It's very important, Alec, that he makes sure that no other runs get scored. I understand the Dodgers have a hell of an offense, but you don't want the Yankees to get on a run. They're already feeling good right now.
Yeah, they lead 2-1 here, makes that home run. Oh, this was tipped. No movement from Chisholm or Volpe. 0-1, so it says they're going to count as a strike swinging. One in and out the glove of Smith. No movement.
Yeah, they're lucky, honestly, because that one got pretty far away that Jazz Chisholm didn't think about going. It might have been dicey if he did, but that one got pretty far away. You got to lock back in here.
It would have been towards a pass ball in such an error. 0-1. Upstairs 86. It was a slider from Bonda. Pressure's on the Dodgers now. They're the ones trailing, but most of the time you would believe there is pressure on both these teams, no matter what year. The expectation is always a World Series time. Bonda looks at second, then at first. On the 1-1. Bouncy ball. This could be a tough play. Catch me! And a throw. Not there. There's no play.
I'm going to tell you right now, Alec, in that dive for Tommy Edman, Jazz Chisholm had to stay tethered to third because Tommy Edman's dive just to get to that ball saved a run there for the Dodgers.
So, not worst case scenario, but there was no throw to first intact.
No.
And by the time that throw was there, it might likely could have been an error on the throw because Edman was down on the count. Chisholm had to stay put at third because Edman made the dive. It's a good defensive play. Edman won a Gold Glove 3 years ago, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, that was a great play there. That's big time. Just be able to make sure the runners stay where they are, but it is bases loaded now against Alex Verdugo.
243 batting average with the bases loaded, but he has yet to record a grand slam. In this case, 1-0 count as this was outside right. Verdugo is a left-handed batter. So runner third is Chisholm, second is Volpe versus Wells. This one's on the right line, top side. Even's got a 1 on the fastball.
It's gut check time now for Anthony Bonda. We talked about the Dodgers bullpen that's been so good and mixed with all the other injuries. Well, right now, you got to make sure you keep it locked in with the bases loaded. You can't let the game get out of the way.
The 1-1. Foul left. You'd figure that there will be a new reliever on for the Dodgers after this inning. Bonda's taking care of this inning. You probably believe that there will be a new one up. Daniel Hudson, Michael Kopech, paging any of these two?
I think that's a good possibility.
It could be. If Larry struck out 6, his night is done after 90 pitches. Bonda, so he is taking care of one out, but he has to take care of the other one. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, and Verdugo chased it. He'll sit down. Bonda does the job. He gets out the bases loaded jab. Excellent work by his Dodger bullpen.
Yeah, you got the fastball up high. You got Verdugo to go right after. That was big time. And again, as we mentioned, and I'm glad we did a couple times, credit Tommy Edman keeping the score right where it is, where it's just 2-1 Yankees. Yes, Stanton got the big blow, but that could have been a lot worse as the Dodgers now get set to bat in the bottom of the 6th.
And you wonder, if you're the Dodgers, where your big run is going to come from. You did get a sac fly from Will Smith, but now in this order, Tommy Edman, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, you believe these three will be good enough for the job. I feel that Edman may have to reach base first, and then Ohtani can deliver his damage before Mookie Betts gets to the plate. That's how I feel it could work out if the Dodgers were to regain momentum.
Yeah, you're right, Alec, because again, we talk about the lock-in mode for Shohei. All of a sudden, when there's a runner on base, the guy hits about 800. So if Tommy Edman does his job, well, then there you go. Shohei Ohtani essentially is automatic to score some runs in at that point. So 2-1, this game is anybody's for the taking right now. Giancarlo Stanton with the biggest hit of the game. But both of these pitchers have done an excellent job. Jack Flaherty's day is done as Bonda was able to get that out against Verdugo with the bases loaded. Now it's up to Garrett Cole. Does he continue to stay locked in, or what's going to happen next?
It's up for anyone's interpretation to happen. He hasn't allowed a home run. It's just one earned run, but that was on a sac fly. Kicker in that is he did try it when the ball went shallow right, and the throw was too late that time around. Update from the NBA. We had 2 final scores. The Magic defeat the Nets 116-101. Cavaliers down the Pistons 113-101. Despite 33 from Kate Cunningham.
I know I didn't get a chance to cover the game the other day against the Pacers when they kind of lost it a little bit in the 4th quarter, but I will say, regardless of how many games the Pistons win or lose, we know what the record's probably going to be. Certainly seems like they're playing better to start the year, though.
It does feel like it. You have a general good idea of what the record could be like. And you wonder also as well how the Red Wings will perform this season.
I am wondering that. Again, I don't know on the Red Wings side, at least to shift gears. It's another game where they're outshot by 20. Patrick Kane ends up getting the game winner. I think the goalies might have stole pretty much all 4 of those wins, but I'll take it. The Red Wings are 4-3.
That's a good start for Detroit. Can't really say the same for Nashville. They're starting out slow despite being the winners of the offseason. Bring in Stamkos, Marchessault, and Shea, and you're starting out 1-5-0. I figured that the Bruins would be going on a trap game against the Predators, and I was right on that regard. 4-0 win for the Predators, as this is just to the left from Garrett Cole to Tommy Edman for the first pitch ball. The goal could last until the 7th inning. The Chicago Blackhawks are up 2-0 on the Predators, thanks to Greg Smith and Connor Bedard. Here's the 1-0 on the way. Foul to left, and evens the count at 1.
And I don't want to step all over your play-by-play, Alec, but are the LA Kings ever going to play a home game?
I wonder. And I think they would.
They've had a long road stand.
1-1 pitch, way outside. 2-1. I feel that this could be a moment for the Kings. If they ever come back home, you think they will be greeted to? I don't know. Here's a 2-1 on the way. Slash to right. Fair. Takes a bounce off the wall. Edman's still going. Another bounce off the wall. Soto's throw cut out. It's a
Tommy Two-Bag, and what did Alec just tell you before we got into the bottom six? Again, we're no psychics, but he called it. He said it was on time for Tommy Edman to get on base for Shohei Ohtani. 18 of his last 23 with runners in scoring position. Look out.
You know, this is his time. He said it best. And maybe a home run could be on the way. Something that could give Dodgers fans life. Because 18 of his last 23 with runners on base, not heard of at all.
I know you got Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, but if I'm Garrett Cole, unless I get ahead, why not just walk him?
I mean, I could do that if Mookie Betts gets on base. Just walk Ohtani. Ohtani bounce this one back. It's a sinker 97. It's also a two-seamer. 0-1. This is the point where Ohtani does his damage. Usually this will be the moment that he shines best. Now that Edman's on board, he's at second base. He's ready up for his 0-1 pitch. Cole looks to second, now delivers. Bouncy ball. Who's going to pick this one up? Volpe does. The throw. In time. Ohtani is out at first. Edman moves to third.
That was awfully close. I don't know if the Dodgers want to think about this or not. He was galloping down that first base line, but I do agree with you, Alec. In real time, I think they got him by half a step.
Half a step. You said it. And it was a tough play for Volpe as he had to step up to get that one. It went past Garrett Cole, but Shohei almost had the speed to get to first base. It almost was there. Yep, half a step. Now Mookie Betts could be his moment. 0 for 2 though, but this could be a turnaround point. Third time could be a charm. Not at that first strike, this is at top left corner. 5 for 11 this postseason with runners in scoring base. 3 doubles and 7 RBI. And with Edman at third, it could be good enough.
Yeah, all I want to see, Alec, I think all Dave Roberts wants to see right now is get a deep enough fly ball. It could even be shallow with Tommy Edman's speed. Just score that runner from third.
All the way through. No, if it's deep enough, they can score him. So the Dodgers only run scoring a sac fly that was key here in that. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. It's a cut on that bottom left side, and Garrett Cole had the upper hand on Mookie. And even if they weren't a part of the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry, it felt like Mookie he knows this rivalry too well, having been part of the Red Sox himself. A team that has Steve Pearce, J.D. Martinez, Andrew Benintendi, Brock Holt, a star-studded roster throughout Chris Sale, David Price, and another guy who we saw last year, Nathan Eovaldi. 2-2 as this ball's thrown up the stairs.
Yeah, I think Mookie Betts did it right in his career. Like, didn't he? He can play with a bunch of stars. He's a star himself. I mean, hell, his middle name is Lynn. It's just MLB initials. He's born to play baseball.
Yeah, more than just playing that. Fouls this one right. The count remains at 2-2. Edman stays put at third. Garrett Cole throwing 77 times. Question is, if he can go on to the 7th inning, it could be a good start for him. A lot of power to foul that one off. Mookie 0 for 2. Could do some wonders here. On to 2-2. Oh, what a catch! Right towards Chisholm Jr. He took a hit away from Mookie Betts.
Yes, he did, Alec. Blazing reactions at the hot corner. Saves a run. He made that play look easy as he tossed it over to first. Now leave it up to Freddie Freeman.
Oh, he reacted just in an instant. Took a bounce. He thought there was a play at third, but no. He looked at third for a split second. Realizes there wasn't a play at first, so he decided to go to first. Big swing and a miss on a fastball. Was on the top side for Freddie. 235 batting average with 1 RBI this postseason. Hasn't played a lot in the NLCS, but now he's back on this lineup. It could give LA a boost. Here it is. High fly ball. Is this deep enough in right field? Juan Soto's backing up just at the warning tracks. That could be a home run at Yankee Stadium, not Dodger Stadium. Well, let's stretch, John. We're on to the 7th.
Yeah, we might as well. It's been a hell of a game so far. I'm glad that we were able to do this opener here. And for Jazz Chisholm, we just talked about it. That was a near miss for Freddie Freeman. That took Soto right to the track. Here's the other thing I got to mention about Jazz. That trade pickup that they got from Miami, they also have, I think, about 4 years of team control for the Yankees on Jazz Chisholm. So whether or not he plays third or left field or whatever else in the future, I think he's going to really enjoy being in the bright lights in New York.
He's going to enjoy, I feel he will enjoy his time over the Bronx. And probably for a long time for the Yankees. Now he's cementing himself as a Bronx bomber.
Yes, it is. We're looking forward to that. I know there are going to be some other moves, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as the series goes along. But we'll just say this again. We'll give you an update real quick on Garrett Cole's line. He's still out there. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. His pitch count's only at 80. Certainly seems like he's going to go through a solid 7 before you go into that Yankees bullpen. That's been pretty good. It's a 2-1 game right now. Stanton's 2-run shot that scored Soto answered in the sixth from Will Smith's sacrifice fly to rate from Kike Hernandez, who had pretty much a double, but he got a triple off the misplay from Verdugo off the left side of that wall. But it's 2-1 New York in game one of the World Series. Game two, Alec's going to have that one tomorrow. That'll be at the same time. All these games get started at 8:10 Eastern.
Tune in onto the Twitter Space and Twitch side for those who are listening along. So, funny story, it's been an eventful week for me. So, my desktop crashed, and I can't even get past the startup screen now. I plan on having to take it to the Geek Squad on Sunday. So, I switched over to my laptop, which I'm broadcasting over to Twitch from now, and it's working good so far. So, looks like I'm in good hands for the moment. My desktop, I couldn't say the same, unfortunately. So hopefully things go up well, because there's always a life shelf for computers. You wonder how long it's going to be, but my desktop, which I got at college 4 years ago, I wonder how long it's going to take. But I don't know what the problem is, but the main problem I could attribute to the overheating of the CPU and GPU.
Oh, that doesn't sound good, Alec. Hopefully, it's not too expensive.
Hopefully not. And also, I had my entire AC unit be replaced, so we could spend a lot of money on replacing that AC. It's been up for 17 years at my house.
Oh yeah, again, that's another one of those that gets a couple of grand to do that stuff too, depending on how big your house is. So hopefully all those repairs are done, then you can just enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas and have some money to go around because that stuff does get expensive.
So as we're back here, Brewstar Gradual making his first postseason appearance this year.
Brewstar is one of those ones that I know that can throw hard. He can throw strikes. This one going to bounce right to his hands from Gleyber Torres. A little bit of an excuse me swing, and it'll be 1 up, 1 down here for Brewstar.
He replaces Edgardo Henriquez, who made his debut for the Dodgers late on the season, so he's now on the inactive list. But Brewstar, he pitches hard, throws hard, and that's what Dave Roberts wants out of his guys. Took a bouncer right back to Brewstar, and he caught it with his bare hand on that low tap.
Yeah, he was not phased at all. As Juan Soto and then Aaron Judge. Again, Soto 1 for 2 in this game. Brewstar out of Venezuela, 6'1", 265, just 26 years of age. Feels like he's a lot older than he should be. Jazz Chisholm has the only stolen base in this game. And Tommy Edman, I know he's credited with 1 error against him, but he's also probably credited with saving a run here for the Dodgers. His 99 on a sinker was followed straight back. Make it 2-1.
For this 26-year-old, not only can he deliver, but he's who Dave Roberts perceives as a high leverage reliever. And that's who we trust in delivering on the high leverage guys. Soto, Judge, Torres, especially those three, and keeping them at bay.
Yeah, I don't think that's a mistake at all to say that, Alec, because, again, I'm looking at 98. Even made Juan Soto blush as he offered at it way outside the zone. You mix in a sinker cutter, 98. I don't know how you even touch that kind of stuff, but these guys are the best in the business. 2-2, way high out of the crouch, and Will Smith. It's a full count now against Soto, 3-2.
Juan Soto, he can chase after them, rake, and knock them out the ballpark, like what he did against Cleveland in Game 5 in the 10th inning.
Yeah, I don't even know how you manage against this Yankees lineup. I know Judge is struggling a little bit, but Stanton's kind of picking that up. It's really murderer's row in between Soto, Judge, and Stanton as we're doing a Rutgers USC ad next. Again, that's next on Fox even after all of this game. They're making us stay up really late. As this 199, this gets popped up. This will be right to Tommy. He'll dismiss everybody. Be 2 up, 2 down, top 7. Are we going to see something for Aaron Judge, or is he going to continue to stay quiet?
I mean, he struck out 3 times. There's no telling with Aaron Judge. He's been relatively quiet this postseason. He's come alive in the AOCS. We just don't know if it's a possibility this World Series because of his postseason struggles. It's too rocky with him, dude. Judge, and no pun intended.
Yeah, I did. I think you meant it there, and I liked it, Alec. Good work. It's 0-1 again, 3 strikeouts. 147 with 2 home runs. I just happen to think he's way too talented to even continue to struggle, but we'll see. Again, if he wins a World Series, you take it to the bank. There you go. Groove right up the middle. And this is going to be a solid base hit as Judge gets on base for the first time this game.
Finally, you're wondering where this has been for him this entire game. Struck out 3 times, and entering this World Series, his batting average was to a measly 161. Now at a 147 with those 3 strikeouts, you wonder the time is now. It is, as it splits the gap between second and short. And the play at center field was cut off.
And that's the thing for me, for Stanton playing as well as he is. If I'm Judge, I'm not worried about hitting home runs. I just want to get on base for Giancarlo Stanton.
That could be the best possible thing for the Yankees here. They want to expand their lead to 4-1. Giancarlo has delivered 6 home runs so far. Probably 7 on the money.
I can't even believe I'm saying this right now. Again, I know I'm out of the strike, but postseason plate appearances per home run stands at 7.8. Babe Ruth is at 8.6. He's surpassing Babe Ruth. It's 0-2 right now against Stanton. He does not offer. Make it 1-2.
When you're up an elite company with Babe Ruth, that speaks volumes to you.
Yeah, there really isn't anything else. So that speaks for itself in that graphic. 1-2 against Stanton. Again, if any one of your hits just leave the yard, that's all that matters. Brewstar gets the sign from Will Smith. He takes an extra beat. And then now I think he's pointing to the pitch comm in his ear. So we'll take a little step out as the crowd will boo, as they'll customarily do. I don't think it's going to dismay Stanton in any way because he's laser focused right now. Start to shake his head, does Gratterall. Now he'll set the deliver. At 100 on a sinker, but it's 2-2.
It's way out for Giancarlo. No chance for him to just go after that. It's a good eye for Giancarlo. Pay attention that this one was way outside and there was nothing for him.
99 on the outside black, and Brewstar with a primal scream as he gets Stanton. It'll go up to the Dodgers now in the bottom of the 7th. It's still 2-1.
First game back, job well done for Brewstar. He picks up where Bonda left off, and right after Brewstar, it'll be Alex Vesia, who's in his first game back since that Game 5. Perfectly placed on that bottom left side, and he's fired up.
That's pretty cool. Those are the moments that you want to see from big-time players. And Brewstar Gratterall, I happen to think he's a really good bullpen arm, as Alec talked about. I really like, especially when you can mix the off-speed and you got a 100-mile-an-hour bowling ball sinker. I really don't know how you hit too much of that, so expect to see more of him in the World Series.
Yeah, we can. Between him, Alex Vesia, who are making their returns in the World Series. Remember, Vesia was hurt. NLDS in Game 5. He got pulled as a result after a few pitches. Starting to feel some discomfort on one of his areas. But nonetheless, he's still a high-leverage reliever. If the Dodgers do take this lead at some point, then they can rely on their highest leverage guys. If they take this lead sometime in the 7th, maybe the 8th, then it may be a question of choice of who they go with for the same situation. Blake Tribe has done the bulk of the work late in the 9th inning to save games for the Dodgers. But Michael Kopech, he can be as good as Tribe as well.
Yeah, you're right. They've mixed and matched as far as who's going to close the game. And right now, I agree with you completely. But the only thing on Dave Roberts' mind is at least score me a couple extra runs, and we'll worry about that later. Right now, because I think they're going to get another inning here of Garrett Cole. Again, they're still showing it on the ESPN box here in Boone, not making any sort of motion yet to the bullpen. He's only 80 pitches into his day, and he's going to get the seventh.
I think it's the right call from Aaron Boone. You get Cole out there to start the seventh, and if anything starts to break down Cole, you get Boone out there immediately. If you have, say, one, maybe two runners on bases, that's when Boone should come out and go for the pitching change. If one runner's on base, make a call to the bullpen and have that reliever warm up in the meantime. If there's another runner on base, signal for the reliever to come on immediately.
Alec, I hate to put you on the spot, but just give me your best guess here. Who would be the guy that you would expect to get the biggest leverage out for the Yankees? I don't care what inning it is, but who do you think the first reliever would be for Garrett Cole?
So if we're looking for the first reliever for Garrett Cole, I would go towards the lines of Tim Hill. He's done the bulk of the work in the high leverage situations, being the first reliever on. Either him or you can go to Tommy Kahnle, who's had an ERA of 0, and he's done a lot of work. He's pitched 7 innings. Tim Mesa is a depth option, but I feel you want to give the bulk of the work to either Hill or Kahnle to start things off. It's either one of those two, which I'm going with.
Okay, I'm going to watch out for that because I know they've used Mark Leiter Jr. in the past. I've liked him as well. So there's a couple options there for the Yankees to go with. But right now, it's Garrett Cole's world, and we're living in it. As it's Teoscar Hernandez. He's batting cleanup right now. Max Muncy and Kike Hernandez, 4-5 and 6-2 up in this bottom 7. It's a 2-1 lead for the Yankees against the Dodgers. This has been a phenomenal game 1. I know we haven't had a ton of action, but the Yankees now all of a sudden, I look up on my scoreboard, 8 hits and the 2 runs, and the Dodgers have just 1 courtesy of the Will Smith sac fly RBI. As it's 1-2 against Teoscar, and a slider bounces in the dirt, make it 2-2.
Teoscar still looking for his first hits. He's 0-2. You wonder at what point he would be able to want to capitalize. Well, guess I'm wrong on both Tim Hill and Tommy Kahnle. It turns out to be Clay Holmes being the first reliever who's warming up.
Clay Holmes has been a guy that's been in and out of the closer's role. I thought maybe he lost his closing job not too long ago.
Yeah, he lost it to Luke Weaver, who's not officially the closer, but he's been the de facto closer. He's got 4 of the Yankees' 5 saves, the other one belonging to Kahnle.
Gotcha. 2-2. It's a 2-1 game now at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers only down 1 run. Teoscar, a little bit of an excuse me effort. It'll foul off Austin Wells and try to drive Garrett Cole's pitch count to 1 more. He'll be about to throw pitch number 87 to up in a moment.
87, this seems to be a good luck charm for Pittsburghers.
I had to leave it that way. It's Joe Davis and John Smoltz on the Game 1 call, but it's John out alongside Alec Nava as we've been switching across in our Twitter space and on the YouTube side, on Twitch, streaming this across. Glad you guys could join us here. I know it's been pretty busy back and forth in between some of this stuff in chat, and I've enjoyed it. As we're waiting on a full count pitch now from Garrett Cole. Hasn't really walked anybody. We'll see what we do here. 96. And it's a solid single. Judge will have to play it off the hop. And Garrett Cole, no trouble just yet, but he's got a base runner to start in the bottom 7.
Yeah, I reckon that there will be a mound meeting from Matt Blake, the Yankees pitching coach. So if it's a pitching coach, that means mound meeting. If it's the manager, that means you're done. So that's what I would believe. That would be just to calm the nerves if they were to have a mound meeting. That puts the gap on the liner, right towards Judge and Teoscar. Welcome aboard to the World Series. Toronto misses you, and Seattle misses you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Seattle was probably wondering, geez, where the heck was all this power before when we really needed it? As we're taking a look at the meeting, as Alec had mentioned, I don't think that they're going to do anything alongside Garrett Cole just yet. I don't see Aaron Boone taking the baseball. But this does give an opportunity here for Clay Holmes to get warm. So I do think this is a good meeting, just in case. because when you're dealing with Kike Hernandez, hey, guess what? We're all wrong. They're going to go ahead and relieve Garrett Cole, so he's responsible for the runner at first. I do think that's an interesting call. It's going to be up to Clay Holmes now.
That's interesting. I guess they were leaving him with a runner at first. That's an interesting development. Now they're pulling him. I thought Matt Blake and Aaron Boone look so similar. I can't tell them apart.
I think that's pretty good. The one thing that is really similar, I don't know if you follow on for Ryan Huska for the Calgary Flames, but if you do Ryan Huska and Pierre Maguire side by side, I swear that they're clones.
That's an enjoyable moment to point out. So we got 3 more final scores from the association. Toronto down to the Sixers, who were without Joel Embiid and Paul George, 115-107. Lead the way, Scotty Barnes. The Knicks blowout of the Pacers comes complete, 123-98, as Jalen Brunson continues to take over. No Julius Randle and no Dante DiVincenzo. No problem. They get a bounce back victory from game 1. And the last one, the Atlanta Hawks withstand a shootout against the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball delivers 34 with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. But it's Trae Young with 38 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. A near triple-double.
It's a pretty good stat line there for Trae Young, but we'll get all those boards as well. I don't want to throw Joel Embiid under the bus, but I saw that quote. I have to get your reaction to it. He goes, "I may never play back-to-backs again." Are you kidding me?
I mean, you never see hockey players complaining when playing in back-to-back games. So if there was something for Embiid to say that, there's got to be some valid excuse to come injured. If some injury troubles were so bad for Embiid, or if there's a lingering injury that he's dealing with, as in the case of Kawhi Leonard. I haven't seen anything from Embiid in terms of lingering injuries that he's dealing with. Besides, he's an Olympic gold medalist, right?
Yes, he is. And I'm glad you said that, Alec. I would have been kind to you either way because, of course, we're friends and all of that. But I'm glad that you mentioned it that way. I completely agree with you. I thought that was really out of left field. If I'm Nick Nurse, I'm a little bit concerned with that.
I mean, yeah, I am. And we speak of Kawhi Leonard. It feels like the Clippers, they could be in some medical trouble because a former medical staffer is suing them on the basis that of mismanagement of Kawhi's injury diagnosis.
Oh, boy. Hopefully we get more information on that to report to you because Kawhi is one of my favorites, and I'm getting back to play-by-play in a second, but he's one of my favorites. It's a shame he's had to deal with so much injury trouble because I still think he's a damn good basketball player.
He is a very talented one when he's healthy, and the Clippers need him.
So 2-0 against Max Muncy. I did not. Oh my goodness! This one spikes and hits Max Muncy. I think we're just going to take the extra base anyway. Clay Holmes, very wild.
Well, this is not what Aaron Boone wanted when he put Holmes in, when he pulled Garrett Cole out. You immediately put another runner on bases because you hit him with a pitch. That is not what you want. Ouch. Oh, that hit him in the knee. Well, good thing that there's no further injury, but that's going to leave a mark.
That's the thing I was just asking you, too, because we were kind of both bewildered about why you would take Garrett Cole out in this moment. I still think he was cruising. I know he was still in the 80 pitch marker, but he wasn't near 100 yet. He looked absolutely locked in, and you're right. This is not what you want to see with Clay Holmes right now. No, by the way, Kike Hernandez is due up next with runners at first and second.
Yeah, I don't really agree with the decision to pull Cole. He's been riding hot for this point in time, and you pull him before he reaches 100 pitches. That's a very curious decision, but I think this may backfire on Aaron Boone. I just have a hunch.
I have a feeling too. And again, it's not that I'm ahead of you on the TV feed maybe by 10 seconds or so, but I'm right there with you in the sense of Kike. I mean, 314 in the postseason, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. That's par for the course for him. And I'm looking just to see if there is any sort of push into the infield. Right now, I see Anthony Rizzo. I'm not exaggerating here. He's almost standing right where Clay Holmes is on the mound as far as this defensive shift. So they're hoping that Kike is going to hit right into it here. And they got to find something because if he lofts this into the air, this could be big time trouble here for the Yankees. Here's a bunt. This is what they were going for. Kike is going to do the selfless job. That'll move the runners to second, third, and one out.
Try, you fools. Just recreating that scene from The Lord of the Rings, says Kike Hernandez as he sacrificed himself to move Teoscar and Mad Max. Well, showing bunt is ideal when you have runners at base. Oh, Anthony Rizzo, he was running in all the way. Whoa, wow.
I'm glad I wasn't exaggerating when I said that. I was like, Anthony Rizzo is right next to Clay Holmes. He could shake his hand.
Oh, the good old buns from Mr. John Ott.
So pop up, and that was an awful at bat for the Dodgers after the pop up because that doesn't advance anybody. Everybody stays there. So Will Smith, that's exactly what Clay Holmes wants. One pitch, one out. They can't even advance the runners. It'll leave it up to Gavin Lux with 2 outs.
Oh, so it's a big turnaround. After that wild pitch, then you go over to complete turnaround and complete 180.
Yeah.
And in a pop-up, that was a disastrous at-bat for Will Smith, in which he just took a first pitch pop-up, not the way you want to go. I mean, there were all sorts of infielders around. They can't even advance anyone. The goal was to get it deep, and Smith didn't connect at that.
No, just to get something. And you're absolutely right because the way that this started here for Clay Holmes, guess what? We're getting another pitching change. They're going to go right to Tommy Kahnle. So Aaron Boone's pressing all the buttons on the robots right now. We'll take another break, but it will be Gavin Lux due up next.
Oh my God, I'm just shaking my head right now. I mean, that's 3 pitching changes in an inning. Are you kidding me? I mean, you pulled Garrett Cole before he reached 90 pitches. Then Clay Holmes, he last all of 5 pitches. And it looked like he was doing all right on those last 2 outs. But Aaron Boone felt like he wasn't satisfied because up against Gavin Lux, you don't want to have him go up against him. I don't know what his basis here because Tommy Kahnle's coming up. I just don't understand the logic.
We'll see, and I guess we can say this, Alec, in the right way, that if he gets the job done, then we don't have to worry about it. We both agree on that. But yeah, I'm with you. It's been a little bit bizarre. Honestly, there's been more pitching changes than the Tigers usually do on their bullpen days in 1 inning.
You're not over-exaggerating this, aren't you?
No. And again, the shift that I've seen from Anthony Rizzo with Clay Holmes, I couldn't believe they're pretty much standing right next to each other. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Me neither. I've never seen anything like this. I'm shocked and bewildered at the same time. There's too many pitching changes in an inning. And it's not like Holmes was doing anything wrong of his own. The only error that he committed was that wild pitch to Max Muncy, in which he hit him.
Yeah, and again, you're correct about that. And at least now, is Garrett Cole's pitching line is done. It's 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. Clay Holmes he's responsible for the runners at second, or at least for third, as it's Clay Holmes with 2/3 of an inning. That's all he got with a hit by pitch. And now Tommy Kahnle is going to try to get the last out against Gavin Lux. It's been a whirlwind of pitching changes here. It's been a long bottom 7. And I will get set to advance it over to Alec in the 8th if we do get to the 8th.
So we look away for one part, and this World Series has less runs scored than the Nashville Predators and Chicago Blackhawks combined. So we look away, and all of a sudden, the Predators are tied with the Blackhawks after 2. Phil Forsberg and a shorty from Gustav Nyquist.
You think where they are in the schedule right now, Alec, these are games that Nashville's got to get.
They have to. This one especially. And we also look away, lo and behold, Leon Draisaitl for the Oilers.
And I saw this stat line as the first pitch fall back. Tommy Kahnle, this is the most bizarre stat you're going to see all day. In his outings, 48 consecutive changeups thrown. I guess sit on the changeup.
And the Trevor Hoffman pitch, as I like to call.
Gavin Lux waiting now on the 0-1. It is runners at second and third with 2 outs. Lux, this is grounded towards second. Rizzo got to get to the bag. He will. The madness of pitching changes for Aaron Boone works out. They take Eric Cole out early. Clay Holmes hits a man. You give runners a second and third. You had Rizzo near the pitching mound. Canely gets the final out of Lux. That does end the seventh. It's still 2-1 Yankees.
That's not to say I'm not impressed with it. That's not to say I'm not impressed with the Yankees, but even for them getting the free outs that they needed off of the relievers in Clay Holmes and Tommy Canely, Clay Holmes was solid outside the wild pitch, and Canely's starting off to a nice outing so far. But Aaron Boone's playing with fire right now. He's got to stop it.
I would think so. Again, if it was me, Alec, I would have given. And again, hindsight's 2020. He got the job done, but I would have at least given Cole 7 innings, and then you could have probably finished the game off with Holmes and Canely. Now you might have to have the conversation to go to Mark Leiter Jr. or Stroman or Hill or Mesa to try to get the final outs of this game.
Maybe. I mean, you do have Luke Weaver at your disposal. He's been lighting it up as a closer.
Sure.
I know that for Stroman, some like him, that he's a starting pitcher on most occasions. But if you're the plan by Aaron Boone is to use him as a long reliever for the World Series.
Okay.
Same thing with Nestor Cortez Jr.
That's fair. I just want to make sure to get my druthers straight because I know that you've been covering this a little bit more than I have over the last few days. I do plan on trying to get hopefully at least 5 of the 7 World Series games. If it goes to Game 7, I'm going to try to make sure that I can jump in with you after all my stuff is done the next Saturday. Again, I just want to look at the dates real quick as we go across. That would be the 2nd of November. That's the latest that this would go. Right now we're sitting on a Friday, Game 1, October 25th. Again, we will meet up after Alec does the game on Saturday, the 26th. We have games 3, 4, and 5 with you on the 28th, 29th, and 30th. All games will start at 8:10. All of them will be on Fox. We're anticipating, I would think, more runs being scored than we're seeing today, but that's how good really Flaherty and Cole were today.
Yeah, probably more runs in what could be a hitter's haven for the Bronx. That's what we could realize. Oh, and I got another update. Lo and behold, Evan Bouchard 2-0 Oilers as the Chicago Bulls down the Milwaukee Bucks in a stunning upset, 133-122. Giannis with 38, but Kobe White with 35, and the win for Chicago. Zach LaVine with 25, Nikola Vucevic 22.
That is a good breakout game for Kobe White. I'll be honest, I always kind of liked his game.
Yeah, so and a starting role is exactly what he should have wanted. And the Oilers' top-end talent is showing out, and it's a bummer because it comes at my Penguins' expense.
I'm going to be honest with you, Alec. As much as the Red Wings and the Penguins are supposed to be blood rivals, I'd always root for the Penguins. I don't dislike the team at all, but I have a hard time rooting for the Oilers.
I mean, given what's happened recently, I find it very hard to root for them. Even though Stuart Skinner's making a 17-save shutout as that first pitch ball for Alex Vesia, he's the next reliever on in the place of Bruce Gratterall. Joel Blomqvist has faced 36 shots. Our defense is breaking down in front of him. It's not Blomqvist's fault, given he has 34 saves. He has himself a nice outing. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss for Jazz. But I feel like the Oilers offense could realistically put up 50 shots in this game. I'm not kidding you.
I would feel bad for Blomqvist in that situation. I hope that he continues to hang in there because you're right, it's not his fault.
Called strike 2 on that bottom left side. So it makes it a 1-2 count. So it's not Blomqvist's fault. It looks like we're carrying 3 goaltenders between Blomqvist, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Tristan Jarry. Though Jarry was sent back to Pittsburgh. He's not with us for this road trip.
That'll be something to watch moving forward.
1-2 count for Chisholm. Vesia on the mound for the first time since the NLDS. That's way outside on a slider 87. And a good block by Will Smith. There's nobody on board. Anthony Rizzo, World Series champion with the Cubs, on deck. 2-2 on the way. Big swing and a miss. Dead center, fastball, excellent strike
Yeah, it was a challenge pitch from Vesia. He did not mess around with Jazz. He wasn't ready for the heat.
I mean, couldn't take it right there, so it was down for the middle. The 2-1 Yankee lead thanks to Giancarlo Stanton. They're maintaining this lead through the top of the eighth. Game 2 is tomorrow. I'll have coverage with you guys here on Twitter Spaces and Twitch. And it's busy. This one's fouled back by Rizzo. And we're projecting to have Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Carlos Rodon tomorrow. Strikeout artist against the de facto ace. 0-1 count for Rizzo as he's going up against Bezia. Outside, it's 1-1. In terms of pitching style, feels like Bezia is doing similar to how Yu Darvish continues to do to this day. Slow windup, but it's slower than Garrett Cole. But at that area of Yu Darvish where he's doing it. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss after that slider. When Rizzo is going to tie up something, I thought he was punched out, but no.
No, I think he lost definite mark of the pitch count too. And you're right about Vesia. Again, that slow windup into that fastball, a la Cole from what we saw. I think Dave Roberts might have some weapons to turn to in this back end of this bullpen. They've looked good.
Yeah, that felt good for him. And for Dave Roberts, now that Vesia is back in action. Depth reliever, you can expect him being utilized in that role. Brian Brazier also in a depth role. Upstairs, it's another fastball, 2-2, and Rizzo did not chase it.
Yeah, Vesia is trying to get him to go at a pitch up high, but Rizzo is strong enough to keep his hands back.
Even up count, it's 2 apiece. On the way, did he go? You're going to check him for a base. They're signaling no, he is safe, and the count is full.
Again, another pitch up there high for Vesia. See what he goes with here. He kind of looks locked in right now.
Lock and key. That's what you want for your bullpen. And lock and key indeed. A perfect pitch to the bottom right corner. Gets the second strikeout. The reverse K.
Yeah, I saw the visible reaction there from Rizzo. He kind of shook his head. He's like, I can't hit that as he goes back to sit down.
So he had a Dodgers beforehand, got together with MLB together and a meet up with the kids before this game. Aspiring players for the future were to be MLB, or if there's a women's league for professional baseball, it's just a first pitch ball towards ball beat, maybe they could have it for little league players, aspiring baseball players in the future.
Yeah, you never know, Alec. All that stuff is really good. I mean, it's got to be a thrill to be able to run the bases and have fun on a major league field. Good on them to be able to bring that dream come true.
And hopefully that gets fulfilled for these young guys. 1-1 count. They're showing this duel win for Shohei Ohtani. Duel second, bottom of the eighth. Feel like they're broken boxes going around. They're crapping a little too much. Well, might be for the fans who new to the game. 2-1 count for a ball beat, by the way. Stop for shortstop, playing that Derek Jeter role. Messi will be throwing his 15th pitch right now. Big low drive, he missed it, or he foul tipped it back to Smith. So I had to correct myself, but it evens up the count nonetheless. Add 2.
Vesia looks like he's all set to go here. I'm not stepping on your toes, but look out, Alex Vesia.
So keeping an eye on outer vision. Haven't used that term in a long time, but I'm keeping an eye out here. If we have something here, 2-2. This one's up in the air. Backing up is Kincaid. Shy of the warning tracks. Johnny on the spot. Sends us to the bottom of the eighth, and he tosses this ball to a lucky fan in attendance.
That was a dominant 3 outs there for Vesia. A couple backwards Ks. Looked pretty good. I know it was a deep fly ball toward the end of it, no problem. But again, as you mentioned, you talked about that back end bullpen there for Dave Roberts trying to get some healthy bodies. And Gratterol and Vesia, that's a good check mark for me. We'll see what happens as this series goes along. If we see Michael Kopech or Daniel Hudson or what we find there, but the bullpens look good. I think for the Yankees, again, they got the outs that they were supposed to get alongside Canely and Holmes. But that looked a little bit more shaky than I wanted to see.
Oh, yeah, it looked a little more shaky than what we thought. But Vencia did bounce back and do the job. The routine here for Dave Roberts' pitchers that he wants to limit them to at most 20 pitches. And I feel like he's going to stick to that word. We're limiting them to 20 pitches. That means just one inning. Or if Vencia can continue to go, which I doubt it will happen, if he can limit him to just one out in that ninth inning.
I was just responding to one of the comments here on the YouTube side. It said for the Yankees, you had every opportunity with runners in scoring position and can't even get a sacrifice hit. Yeah, Alec and I kind of feel the same way that you do, Dan. It's been one of the situations for both of these pitchers for the most part, in between Flaherty and Cole, where it made life difficult for all these hitters here. Now when we got in the back end bullpen, it's been more of the same. I think if you asked Alec and I at the beginning of the game whether or not this was going to be a 2-1 contest, I think both of us would have told you that we were lying. I didn't think it was going to only be a 2-1 game at this point.
I mean, it just feels too tight to tell how long this 2-1 scoreline is going to hold up. It just feels like it's a matter of time before the Dodgers' big bats wake up.
What are you expecting to see tomorrow, Alec, between Yamamoto and Rodon?
Looks like the strikeouts continue to go up for Rodon as he continues his solid out. He's come alive here this postseason relatively nicely. Ever since he got the first one, this is going good for him. So he was a little shaky to begin with, but nonetheless, solid so far for the strikeout artist. Yamamoto, I would want to monitor his pitch count because it's been shorter than it has traditionally for any other starting pitcher for Yamamoto. That's the big thing that I want to look after.
We'll continue to watch that again. I won't be able to follow game 2, but if I do get a chance to listen in the car on my way home, I'll definitely give you a shout out and do so. Tommy Edman trying to get the engine started here for the Dodgers in the bottom 8th.
And Tommy Caley, the other Tommy here, he's looking to deliver 3 straight outs up against Tommy and Tommy Two Bags.
Yes.
It's a nice little nickname for his speed. Caley has a first pitch strike on a changeup. And once again, his changeup streak continues. 51 straight.
That is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, he's not Mariano Rivera, but come on now. It's just all changeups.
And on the 52nd straight changeup, it's a foul ball from Edman. You wonder if the changeups would be routine there, that you wonder if the Dodgers start hitting on these changeups from Caley.
You would think you have to because you only have one pitch to sit on.
Basically, just a lot of changeups. 53 straight now. This is another foul ball backwards. And continuing to monitor his streak, John. It's just a little humorous to see, but on a lighthearted note. 0-2 count for Tommy Two Bags. 5 pitches in for Caley on his night. The 0-2. Another changeup. This bounces over to Anthony Volpe. In time. And Tommy is punched out. Tommy Two Bags.
Again, you get your defense involved. And again, I'm saying this jokingly as Ohtani steps in, but the first pitch, if you ever play MLB The Show on PlayStation, or it'd be X or A on the Xbox, that's the only pitch he's throwing right now. It's either X or A, changeup.
I've yet to play that game, but I may want to check it out. So Johnny, he can deliver at any point, but he has to deliver huge here with the bases empty. 55 straight changeups, but this one was way out 1-0.
I'm not going to step on you here. You take it away.
Bottom of the 8th, 7 pitches in for Caley as he delivers. Shohei Ohtani, high fly ball, deep right field. It's on the wall. Juan Soto collects it. Ohtani slides to second base, and it gets away. Ohtani deferred, and the throw got away. The ball got loose. Oh my! The Yankees with a big-time mistake on the infield.
I'm not sure if that just short hops off of Gleyber Torres' glove, but that is a catastrophic mistake because Shohei, He's already celebrating as he slides in, and then he's got so much speed. He just says, "I'm just going to take third."
I mean, it was deep enough and it bounces out the wall, and as Soto collects it, that was just a gimme for Gleyber Torres.
Yeah.
It did not get into him as this one got away from him, and as soon as it got away, Ohtani just ran to third in an instant as Torres was going after it bounced over to the inside the infield. That was a disaster and a half for Torres.
Yeah, again, we talk about some of those situations where that turn that way for the Yankees. Because look, what happened in the seventh? You got runners at second and the third. Somehow the Dodgers don't score. Now you get an opportunity with a triple here after one out, after all those change-ups, and then you go ahead and pull Canely. I guess now you're going to throw Luke Weaver into the fire. You would think this time at least the Dodgers with Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman find a way to get this run, and at worst, get this game tied.
I don't understand all these pitching changes. You have Garrett Cole, 88 pitches, pull him. Clay Holmes, 5 pitches, he's pulled. Tommy Canely, 8 pitches, he's pulled now after getting 2 outs. Holmes got 2 outs for the Yanks. And now Luke Weaver, Aaron Boone wants him in for perhaps a 5-out save here. I don't understand the logic, but even if Weaver's getting hot, I don't get it, John.
And again, you're right about Luke Weaver getting hot, but I mean, do you really expect? If I'm Aaron Boone, I'm just going to be completely honest here with you, Alec. You got Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman with a runner at third and 1 out. If I'm Aaron Boone, you have to expect that Luke Weaver is going to give up a tie game. There's no way he's getting out of this.
Yeah, I doubt it. And Mookie is due for a hit here. He's 0 for 3, but he is due with his postseason reputation between the Red Sox and the Dodgers, and the fact that he has yet to lose a World Series. Well, it may be his postseason reputation coming alive here, but also with the talent around him in those 2 World Series winning years. Pierce, Holt, Benintendi, Mitch Moreland, J.D. Martinez, Christian Vasquez on the Red Sox, and then on the Dodgers, Corey Seager, Clayton Kershaw, Justin Turner, if we're naming a few on that Dodgers team. Will Smith and Gavin Lux were a part of it alongside Chris Taylor. And while Taylor is utilized more in a depth role now, you can still have these Dodgers high-end guys be key components to a Dodgers win here. They want there to walk it up in the 9th or even take the lead here in the 8th.
Yeah, you can. It's up to Luke Weaver now. His job is Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. My goodness.
That would not sit well for anyone, especially if closers Weaver delivers a first pitch strike just on that bottom line. It may be a little questionable, but they say it's right there. 0-1. Weaver has 4 saves in 5 opportunities, 12 strikeouts to 1 walk, so he doesn't issue a lot of walks, as he can strike out a lot of guys. But you want to wonder, how will this last against Mookie? This is outside left, 1-1.
And you got everybody on the Yankees infielder pinched in to try to get Ohtani at home. But remember, he's got ridiculous speed. So even a ground ball might be an instant run, but they're trying to stop it as much as they can.
Bro, if it's batted fast enough, then and only then could be a throw to home. That's why it's pitched in. And some foul back. 1-2 on this count. Austin Wells to a good block. Right back. So 1-2. As Mookie, he wants to continue his postseason reputation. All for free. But like a volcano, he's dormant. He can come alive at any moment. So Weaver getting set on this 1-2. On the way. Wide drive through center. It may be deep enough to score Ohtani. Just a catch. Here comes showtime. And it is showtime after all. We are tied.
You got to think, even though Mookie Betts comes through, and that's ultimately what matters, that extra 90 feet there, that cost the Yankees a run after that misplay in second base.
And Gleyber Torres has to be shaking his head after that, because his fielding error was a direct result of this line drive through center in which Betts sacrificed himself to score an Ohtani. We're even up now. here in the 8th, or even walk it off in the 9th, John.
Everything is on the table now, my friend.
Fastball is up, but it's fouled back 0-1, and this Dodger crowd has come alive. Even the entire country of Japan has come alive.
Yeah, they showed those camera shots of Shibuya inside Japan. They were all excited as Ohtani scored. It's tied at 2.
0-1 on his count for Freddie. It's popped up this time. This will not advance any more on the way. Aaron Judge at shallow center. We'll head to the 9th.
Man, oh man, that's just critical there for the Yankees. And I know hindsight, again, as I said, is 2020. But Alec and I had talked about it, and I think we did a good job throughout this game mentioning the amount of pitching changes that you've used. So now you put in Luke Weaver. You've already used Canely. You've used a lot of other guys in the bullpen that you would expect it. Garrett Cole's done for the day. Clay Holmes is done. So as this game continues, let's say it goes into extra innings, who do you have left to throw? So that'll be who you'll be talking about and what we might be thinking about if this game goes into extra innings.
If it does, we'll be looking at another classic of extra innings, just like last year. Let's think about Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia. Does that remind anyone among Rangers fans?
Yeah, we had some fun with that one, did we not? Again, we've covered a lot of even some good postseason baseball, you and I. I know we have a lot of our work is mostly hockey ball, but the World Series has been quite good to us, and I'm glad to be able to do this again with you for another year.
Yeah, good to have you on board, John. It's always nice having you around. But anything that we cover turns to gold. Game 7 Stanley Cup Final from this year, gold.
It certainly seems that way. We always get a bunch of instant classics in the forefront. I don't know what happens or what draws it out, but we like working these games together with you. We like having the crowd and taking your comments all the way across the board. And we're going to be set up for an instant classic here in the 9th as we're tied at 2. It's going to be the Yankees at the bat rack.
And the final score at H-Town, the Houston Rockets, 128-108 over the Memphis Grizzlies, who survived Ja Morant's 24 points. That's just 2 assists and no rebounds. On the other hand, every starter on the Rockets put up at least 14 points, the most being Jalen Green's 22 with 6 rebounds, and Alpi has 16 points, 15 rebounds, a double-double.
I know he mentioned that a little bit last year alongside the Rockets and Jalen Green, but Alperen Şengün, it feels like he kind of came out of nowhere, and he's really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, he is. Kind of reminds me of Jokic in a way, and way style.
I think that's a pretty good comparison. I'm not even going to get upset about that. I think he is that talented. So we're going to get an opportunity now. Michael Kopech is going to get a chance to get some big time outs. Again, he's no longer on the Chicago White Sox. This is a whole different stage. This is the World Series. I know he's pitched with the Dodgers now for a while since the pickup from the trade deadline. But this can be big. Again, this is 8-9-1 due up. I'm going to have to plug my phone in here in a second. But 8-9-1 with Austin Wells, Alex Verdugo, and Gleyber Torres. I think Gleyber Torres has got to be hoping that he can be the game-winning hit at this point because he's got to feel a little bit sick to his stomach as it's a 2-2 tie. Who knows? Freddie Freeman or Mookie Betts could have came through with a hit, could have changed some things, but it's still a sac fly for Mookie. Drives in Ohtani. Now Wells. This will be light deluxe. No problem. Freddie Freeman. 1 up, 1 down for the Yankees in the 9th.
Gotta love it, Freddie Freeman. Johnny on the spot to put away Austin Wells. Postseason struggles may continue. At least he does have a hit, so there's some solace for him. But it may not be saying much because his batting average didn't go up a lot. But Wells, you think that for as good as defensively that he is, that he could be turning things around in this World Series. This is the brightest stage after all.
Yes, it is, Alec. And again, at least for me, I know the hits have kind of been, back and forth, and the Yankees do have some. Again, I should give them a little more credit. But the 8 hits have just been sprayed around. Again, it's not hits with runners in scoring position really for either one of these teams. They've been scattered. So that's why I haven't mentioned it as much. But 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. Somebody other than Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees needs to come through.
Could be Juan Soto if I'm going to bank it on someone coming through. Maybe even Gleyber Torres.
Somebody, anybody. That's what they're hoping here for the Yankees is a 2-1 count. Little check swing. Third base, Muncy. Toss. We'll go ahead and get the 9-hole batter. We'll go ahead and flip this one across the board again. We'll see. They're showing Tommy Edman with a series of flashing defensive plays. I know he had the error in the first, but this one in the seventh pretty much saved a run off the dive as they show Tommy Edman there. Get the toss up. And this will go back to Gleyber Torres. Yankees might go quietly here in this ninth. It's a 2-2 game. This is game one of the World Series. John here with you alongside Alec Nava. And it looks like the way that this game is going, maybe I can speak it into existence, maybe not, that Alec might begin set to take the 10th. This one might be extra innings. Who knows? As Gleyber Torres is 1 for 4 today. He waits on a 1-0. This 97, that was up high right toward the box. He couldn't find it. Kopech got a strike. It's 1-1.
Torres, he maybe wanted to pull something up here in the ninth inning. He's been really good from that leadoff spot. That's been his bread and butter.
Try to get to that fastball, but it was just too much velocity there from Kopech. 1-1. This dive bombs into the dirt on a cutter, not close. Make it 2-1. Again, if Gleyber can extend anything, it would be Soto and then Judge. Judge did get the first 3 strikeouts in his plate appearances, but did answer with a single as Torres waits on the 2-1. 99 for Torres. This toward the wall. This is, I don't know if it's gone or fan interference, and we'll see what the refs interview. I can't give you a clear call just yet.
I'm about to see it, but Torres 1 for 3 against Kopech in his career. Home run and RBI, you believe. It should be something for Gleyber Torres. I don't know exactly.
Oh, no. Go ahead, Alec.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't know if this was fan interference or not. Someone got there. Okay.
We don't.
They'll say that he doubled. They're going to count it as a ground rule double because of fan interference.
Oh,
And
no.
as a fan, you cannot interfere
No.
that way.
Absolutely not.
Everything inbounds. Come on, that's a catcher's glove. How is it that you do not let Teoscar Hernandez make a play over there? Come on, man. Let the guys play things out.
Yeah, I've seen this happen in the early game. I think this was at Comerica Park for the Tigers, and a fan caught it. He was escorted from the first inning. This fan's going to be escorted out of the building in the ninth because as soon as you do that, that costs the Yankees and either Teoscar Hernandez a chance to make a play or a home run.
I mean, dude, just let Teoscar make the play. That costs Gleyber Torres at maybe a triple or more, or at least a double. Even a triple in that regard. Because of that fan interference, it's not a 3-2 ball game, but instead remains tied.
So that's what we got right now. Again, I didn't mean to step on Alec. If I did, I apologize, my friend. I was trying to take a look at that and not scream because that is a no-no for fans. You can absolutely not catch that ball. I think the refs are going to actually talk about the call, but I think we're going to stay. We can't hear them right now because the mic's not on. I think this should at least be a double, but that's probably worst case scenario for the Yankees. They could have a triple or a home run.
In the meantime, Michael Kopech still doing some warm-up pitches. Blake Triton, if necessary, he is warming up at the bullpen. So we'll see the call. It is confirmed. It is a double because of fan interference.
So that's what we got. Again, I was just marking that in the notes as well. Dave Roberts might be going to do an intentional walk here for Juan Soto. But again, I just say it the way I have to say it. I know Judge has 3 strikeouts in this game, but you walk Soto to face Judge. I scratch my head either way, Alex. So I guess the pinwheels are turning.
It's pick your poison between Soto and
Yeah.
Judge. Yeah, I know that Judge has been hot and cold, but it's basically pick your poison. If you face Soto, you be prone to a long ball. Judge, you'd be also prone to a long ball. At the same time, he can also get him striking out, swinging, or going after him, looking to do too much. And Dave Roberts, he wants to get Trinan out there. I think Kopech's done the job. I feel if I'm Michael Kopech, I at least deserve one more chance here this night. And but pulling him against Trinan, bold strategy, but it's paid off before because Trinan's been a really good reliever.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here now. Again, as you mentioned, Alec, there's a lot going on in this game. Hell, there's a lot that we can dissect in this ninth after that fan interference because I think the Yankees are understandably upset. Again, because of fan interference, maybe it helps the Dodgers catch a break. But we'll just be honest with you right now, as it stands, you got runners first and second. Aaron Judge can make all the pain go away with a big hit.
It could. And put the Yankees up 5-2. Set up a safe situation, no matter who the closer is for the Yanks. Luke Weaver's been out there for 2 outs. I would be dumbfounded if Aaron Boone put someone else in.
Yeah, I would too. But again, Aaron Boone, as we talked about, maybe some moves I would have or would not have made. I guess it won't matter if the Yankees end up winning it now. My only concern was, as you mentioned, if this game happens to go into extra innings, then if you're either one of these managers now, I think you're going to be sweating, probably hoping that this game just ends in regulation.
Yeah, I would hope. And if I'm the Dodgers, it would be the most epic way possible. And the Oilers, 16 seconds in, they waste no time scoring again. And I just feel bad for Joel Blomqvist. 40 shots, 37 saves. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the goal scorer.
I know the Red Wings will be playing the Oilers on Sunday. They got a back-to-back on Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully we will catch the Oilers being a little bit tired. That's all I can hope for.
Perhaps.
So it is runners at first and second. It is gut check time. As Alec mentioned, you got Blake Trinan on the mound. Judge has 3 strikeouts in this game, but his last at-bat was a single. Trinan 3 for 3 saves, 8 innings in 6 games in the postseason. Number 99 is capable of magical moments, or he could even extend it to Giancarlo, who has already had one. Strike 1 on a sweeper, make it 0-1.
Curious decision, one Kopech for Trinan, but it feels like you have a vast arsenal of high leverage arms on Dave Roberts' bullpen.
0-1 pitch to Judge. Ooh, that was a pitch he really should have took a swing at. Now he's up against it 0-2. It was a sweeper. I won't say middle, but it was middle left. And Judge just watches. 0-2.
24 game winning RBI for Judge. That leads the MLB, at least in the regular season. You want to wonder if he can deliver something similar.
That's what I'm wondering as well. Again, if you want to go match for match, Blake Trinan, 1 run allowed in the last 23 1/3 innings as it's a 1-2 count against Judge. Inside sweeper, and he'll send that one back in amongst the catcher wall, 1-2.
So the sweepers have been the most reliable pitch for Blake Trinan.
I'm just wondering, in between Tommy Kahnle and now Trinan, it goes from changeup to sweeper. Are we going to see any other pitch variety? What's Judge going to have to sit on here as it's 1-2? 2 outs. It's a 2-2 game, top 9. Judge, big swing, but this is just going to be a pop-up. Tommy Edman makes the catch. Let's go, bottom 9. We're tied at dose.
Teoscar, Muncy, Kike. You figure any one of them. A walk-off shot, perhaps to win it. Even with runners on bases. Teoscar could be my good bet at. But Tommy Edman, he didn't have to do anything spectacular this time around. Just a little stare at it and making the catch. Wasn't it that run-saving play in the 7th inning that he had to do? But I would think Teoscar would be my guy to go to. Maybe Max Muncy.
I think you might be right, Alec. Again, I think the reference that you make is kind of like kind of activating a live hand grenade or a stick of dynamite. It's definitely possible right now. Dodgers only need one swing to try to get the lead in this World Series.
I think it's going to be Muncy. I think Muncy is going to deliver the winning run from what I think it's going to be. He did deliver a game-winning home run in an 18-inning marathon in this World Series 6 years ago against the Red Sox. Mookie Betts was on the other side of it, but Muncy and Betts have been on the winning side of it together in 2020. I think Muncy, with his power, that's my guy to go to for the winning run.
So if you end up getting this correct, Alex, should I just send you some lottery tickets?
Oh my goodness, maybe.
Yeah, I think you got a good chance because if not Muncy, at least you didn't. You left me the layup, which is kind. I mean, I could just go Kike Hernandez with a solo shot, and I don't think we'd be surprised.
I would not either.
So 2-2 game, bottom 9. That's where we're headed right now. 4, 5, 6, as Alec mentioned. 2, 9, and 1 on the hit spot for the Yankees. 2, 5, and 1 for the Dodgers. Last one that we had was a bet sacrifice fly to center, bottom 8, which scored Ohtani. That Gleyber Torres misplay after it bounced off the wall from Judge. That pretty much gave Ohtani the extra 90 feet, allowed them to score an easy run. And now it's all set up for the Dodgers. And hey, wouldn't it be fitting? We talked about Teoscar all night. You signed this 1-year deal to go play for the Dodgers to get a moment like this to hit a big home run. It's definitely possible now. Anywhere between this 4, 5, and 6 right now, I still see Luke Weaver on the mound. I know the ESPN box is even ahead of my feed, but I won't spoil anything if that goes across. So Teoscar Hernandez will get set up here, bottom 9. Alex going to have to keep his pipes warm here because he might have to take the 10th the way that this game is going because I have some work to do tomorrow, and so does he on the side of it, so I can't yell and scream too much. Osvaldo Cabrera will go to second base. He'll be the defensive replacement right now as far as any sort of speed should they need it. So here we go. It's Luke Weaver and Teoscar Hernandez, bottom 9 in a 2-2 game in game 1 of this World Series. Carlos Torres calls that one correctly. It's a fastball outside, make it 1-0.
As far as second base side, Osvaldo Cabrera, he's the guy that you want if you want to have speed for the Yankees in terms of pitch running. Hassan Dominguez is another one of those guys that you can rely on for speed. Ben Rice, surprise revelation, though he's not on the roster right now.
Yeah, if Ben Rice could have manufactured his game where he hit 3 tanks in one game in the midsummer, he would have definitely been on this roster. But for Dominguez, he's going to be one of those guys that could be a defensive replacement for speed, as you said, down the line, should they need it. 96, that one just misses on a fastball. Make it 2-1. Again, as Alec mentioned, between Hernandez, Muncy, and Kike, everybody can light that stick of dynamite. It's a 2-1 count. And Weaver's really got to place these pitches. You got to make sure you take that sign from Wells and don't miss it. 96 right down the middle. And this one gets followed straight back. Make it 2-2.
Look at seeing a sense of pattern here for Luke Weaver. Each one of these relievers brings a different sense of a dominant pitch, and I'm seeing Weaver's dominant pitch being a fastball.
That's what I'm seeing as well, my friend. Luke Weaver, 4-0, 8 of 9 saves, 127 ERA. Assume the closer role September 6th of this year, and he hasn't looked back ever since. He's going to have to lock it down, though, against his vaunted Dodger lineup. 2-2 against Teoscar. This is a pitch up high. This is towards Soto, just shy of the wall. He'll make the catch.
Since September 6th, Luke Weaver has delivered 8 out of 9 saves. He has assumed the de facto closer role on September 6th ever since Quay Holmes got pulled from his closer duties. So far, he's delivered 3 outs, pitching a full inning of such. And with Max Muncy on deck, you think that Teoscar would get one over on a line drive to right, but Juan Soto got there, Johnny, on the spot. But here's my guy, Max Muncy.
That's what Alex said. You know what? Fox just before that showed you all sort of Max Muncy heroics. 96. That was close to splitting the plate, but Muncy will just watch this time. It's 0-1.
delivers power. He delivers that power bat that the Dodgers have throughout all these years.
0-1 against Muncy, way outside on a changeup from Luke. Make it 1-1. Again, as Alec mentioned, the power's there. It's really only going to take one run, you would think, for either one of these teams. 63% of Game 1 winners go on to win the title. And again, even in a best of 7, that's a good percentage. Max waiting on a 1-1. 90, not close on a changeup, trying to be framed by Wells, but it's 2-1 now.
Two doubles and 3 home runs against Luke Weaver, and he is also 7 of 18 against him. So that's a good track record for Muncy.
Yes, it is. See if any one of these guys can become the hero. Way outside on a fastball. Weaver missed the spot. And with 3-1 now, Alec, I'll just say it. You don't want to lay in a fastball here. You got to be careful.
Go somewhere else. Go towards a changeup.
3-1 pitch, getting set. Wells gives the sign. Down the middle, this one popped right up to Cabrera, who just entered the game. 2 outs. So I'm not going to say I took Kike Hernandez, even though he's there for the taking, but he's due up now. Will Smith, Hernandez would have to reach to go next, but it's Kike's job. Again, this is right down the middle, and Max Muncy, good sign on it, but he hits it off the end of the bat and pops it up.
Oh, all could have had it there, but I did call it on the changeup. Go towards that for Luke Weaver. So he did listen to me, Luke Weaver, but nonetheless, still going here, still waiting on something for a go-ahead.
So we'll see if we're going to be in for a marathon or if Kike Hernandez will find a way to get this done right now. Either way, I'm with you. As this is 96 from Kike, swung a little late, make it 1-1.
Did see some good scoring lines previously in the World Series in the past. There was that one duel between the Dodgers and the Astros, a 13-12 duel in Game 5 of the 2017 World Series.
Kike breaks his bat. Is it going to fall? Diving play! Verdugo!
Well, I've yet to see it, but Kike normally would get that to go. Not that time round. Verdugo is a defensive prowess. He just showcased Kike exactly that. And we go into the extra innings with Verdugo making a sensational grab right after that. It was thrown towards the left side on a cutter on a broken bat play. Verdugo split and made the catch, reminiscent to Andrew Benintendi for the Red Sox against the Astros for a game-saving play. That saved this game for the Yankees, and we're still going here in the 10th.
Yeah, that's a good call by you. And also, what could have saved the game was the third broken bat of the game. This time, Kike, who knows? You could have got much more of that if he didn't break his bat. But Verdugo, sparkling defensive play. Hey, this game's been so much fun. Why not go extras?
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Well, there you go. So, speaking of go-aheads, it's Brady Shea on the power play. The Predators are in front. That goal was scored at the 13:07 mark. Both teams have a minute 19 to play between the Preds and the Hawks.
So Alec going to get set to take this away from me here in the 10th. We'll continue to switch off should we need to as we get set for the 10th inning. I mean, Alec, as far as entertainment for this game 1, I'm going to say it right now. I might be more of a soft grader here, but I would honestly give this opener here at least an 8 or 9 out of 10. I mean, this has been a good game.
10 out of 10. Full marks for this game.
Yeah.
Our old-fashioned pitching duel, and we get ourselves a thrilling finish. Well, it's more anticlimactic in Edmonton. It's 4-0 Oilers. A former Nashville Predator scoring the most recent goal is on a power play. Matthias Ekholm.
Man, oh man, I'm just hoping that this game can end quickly here for the Penguins because every time you give me that scoring update, I get a little more sad.
Oh, I just feel just apathetic at this point. I know for a fact that for some time we beat the Oilers, but it feels those days are gone. Now the tables are turned.
And the Oilers, honestly, I mean, I know Alec's going to agree with me on this, but they need to get going here. 3-4-1 is not the start they envisioned. They really don't want to dig themselves out of a hole like they had to do last year.
Yeah. I mean, this is just painful to watch, honestly.
So it gets set for the 10th, Alec. You got Giancarlo Stanton, who's already been a hero. Maybe he can do it again.
That's what Yankees fans hope. And even Derek Jeter's over the box booth, he is hoping. Is there going to be some sort of friendly battle between him and David Ortiz at that box booth? I don't know if Jeter's going to rub it in Big Poppy's face if the Yankees pull this one out. Strike one down for the middle.
I think he might have to because the last thing that I saw is David Ortiz was having some fun. He was trying to date Mrs. Met, and I guess Jeter ran off the set.
Oh, rivalries never get old. Foul to lefty. I know the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry is still alive and well between Jeter and Ortiz.
Yes, it is. They have a lot of fun. It's always nice to have legendary characters there in on the desk, and they need to have that same intensity with this game.
High risk, high reward. 0-2. Big swinging up and chased after the sweeper that went outside, bottom left, and Blake tried it. Has his second out.
That's a good out there to start there for trying to get Stanton way out in front. He's honestly been the Yankees' most dangerous hitter.
And right now, first K for Trident is a forward K. The differentiation being forward K, strike swinging, backwards K, strike looking. Jazz Chisholm Jr. now up. First pitch. It's swept outside right onto the bottom side. A little different from the curveball, but the sweeper has a little more angle to it. Auto count. Rizzo's on deck. This pitch. This is past. The second baseman got a look. Picked up by Mookie Betts. And he limits Jazz at first.
Great call by you there, Alec, because I was just going to throw that out there. If he doesn't cut off that play, Jazz Chisholm's easily able to get to second, but that's a very good defensive play by Mookie to get to that ball.
That's elite defensive awareness there from Mookie. And final score from Chicago. Nashville scores 3 unanswered. They escape the Windy City with the win.
Again, that's one, as Alec and I mentioned, Nashville's got to have.
Desperately. After that 0-5 start, you figured they were going to have that. Throw to first, not in time. Jazz Chisholm able to get back safely as Blake tried to use his first disengagement.
Again, you only get one more of those free of charge before the runner can start going. You know, Jazz can take these big leads.
His speed can kill. In the first pitch, said to be on the way for Trident, and Jazz thought about it. He stays put. Fastball's upstairs. But he can strike with that speed. Look out. Even at 2, at the 10th, runner at first is Chisholm. The 1-0. And Jazz goes. He's going to take second. The throw is safe.
You know what? Mookie Betts, again, as we talk about, he made a great play anyway to cut it off. Jazz said, you know what? I got the elite wheels. I'm just going to take second anyway.
I mean, he thought about it first, went back on a second thought, and now he says, I'll take it anyway. The throw was a little late.
So Yankees are going to start to get warm in the bullpen now with Cousins.
And Jake Cousins is the next one up as this one downstairs for Trident. Makes the count 3 balls and no strikes on a sweeper. 3 balls and Dave Roberts, maybe thinking about it. I don't know if he's going to come out. Well, don't give him the 4 fingers. Rizzo to first is an intentional walk to face Anthony Volpe.
Yep, they already had 3 balls, no strikes against Rizzo. They got the bullpen starting to get warm on the other side for the Yankees. Both managers starting to think about what they want to do. But now it's going to be up to Anthony Volpe here. He's going to get a big opportunity to swing because Jazz Chisholm gets the extra base. They walk Rizzo anyway to try to set up the double play. Let's see what we got.
You can help the Dodgers to set up this double play if they want to have Rizzo over at first. Take one swing, and if it's shallow enough, It could be either a 4-6 breeze, 6-4 breeze. That could work out if the Dodgers were to prevail on the defensive side.
Absolutely, because Rizzo's not the most fleet of foot, so that's what the Dodgers are playing for right now. They trust Trinan to get a ground ball.
It's just a ground ball. That could be what is needed. Maybe a pitch, if maybe pitch, so that there's nothing there for the Yankees in delivery. And to remember, it's the second intentional walk that the Dodgers have issued. Anthony Volpe got the 4 fingers and the 6th for the Dodgers to face Austin Wells. Volpe so for free. He struck out twice with 1 walk. First pitch for him. And he stared at that one for way too long. It's a sweeper towards that bottom. Not the bottom, it's that center side. 0-1 count. The next pitch we tried is 15. It's at this stage in time in which you wonder what the strategy is for both managers. And nothing there. This will be his first disengagement by Blake Trident on this sequence. So Chisholm goes back to second.
I'll let you take it. I'll jump in after.
So no balls, 1 strike on this delivery. And Chisholm, no throw. The play is not there. Even count, but Chisholm's at third. Double play is still intact.
Yeah, Chisholm he's just going to go ahead and take second and third here. Volpe, grand opportunity with 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's got to come through here. Runners in scoring position. Yankees 1 for 6. Dodgers 0 for 6.
But that's not something you want to see for either side. Volpe shows bunt, did not offer. It's over at the bottom left corner, however, 1-2.
It's a big time moment in this game right now. I think Anthony Volpe has got to come through because you just don't know, as Alec mentioned, what can happen with the Dodgers at any time. You don't want that lineup to turn back over to Shohei Ohtani. You got to score some runs.
You have to get this Yankees lineup out of their funk. 1-2 on the way. Did he go up? Oh, they're going to check swing at first. He's safe. Did not go all the way through. It evens the count at 2. He almost went after that one. That was so dangerous. First and third, 1 gone. Runners in the corners, 2-2. Bouncing ball. This is going to be a tough play. There's no play at home. And the runner at second is out and does score Chad Chisholm. Yeah, Yankees go up by 1, 3-2.
That was an incredible play there for Jazz Chisholm. Steals second, steals third, forces Edman into a dive there from Volpe. He pretty much gave the Yankees a run right there. That's a fantastic job from Jazz.
With the speed, that gave the Dodgers absolutely nothing at the plate.
No.
And Rizzo, he was stuck in a tangle. Didn't know whether to step on second, but either way, it was going to be a sacrificial. It was either one of him or Volpe was going to be a sacrificial lamb. There's no double play there, but Chisholm's speed did the job. I wonder if there's going to be a pitching change as Austin Wells is due up.
Yeah, I have to wonder, Alec, what's going to happen next. I'm kind of wondering now what's going to happen in the bottom of this 10th.
Yeah, I may be asking that same question as well. The Warriors are blowing out the Jazz at Delta Center, the home of the Jazz, and presumably the who hockey fans named the Yetis, but now the Utah Hockey Club in this meantime, and Jazz is fired up. Some embraces with Anthony Rizzo. Oh, it looks like they're keeping Blake Trident out there, so it's not a pitching change. And the throw is second. Not in time. Volpe is safe. He takes second.
Both guys that the Yankees have that have a multitude of stolen bases, they're starting to create some problems there for Will Smith behind the plate. That's a big extra 90 feet again. If Austin Wills can find a way to make this a 4-2 game.
That's a big if for the Yankees considering his batting struggles. And if a 4-2 game could be on the docket for the Yanks, so be it. They could have this one right on their favor heading towards tomorrow. The 0-1. That's way outside, and Volpe made no attempt to advance to third. Stays put at second, 1-1. And the Yankees got a run against Trident. Maybe we'll attempt to use that B-movie meme. 1-1. Popped up on foul. It makes the count at 1-2. And the Dodgers fans here are on their seats, not waving their towels, but they want to get 2 runs to win this in the bottom of the 10th if the score holds up. 1-2 count. Runner at second is Volpe. On the way. Got him. Dead center. Down Main Street. And it's do or die for the Dodgers in game 1.
Unbelievable. I can't say enough. I know Stanton has been the hero with the 2-run shot. He's probably going to get the most remarks. For Jazz Chisholm to get a single, steal 2 bases, help Volpe score on the ground out. He's my MVP so far in game 1. I'm putting a stamp on it.
So far, if it's someone on the Yankees, yeah, I'll be going with Jazz Chisholm Jr. I'm with you there. He's been the Yankees MVP of this game. And I think he'll be the man of the match if the Yankees win. If the Dodgers do win, man of the match, I feel this one it may be a toss-up.
Yeah, it might be because I still think it's honestly, Alec, yet to be determined. I mean, we could get a hero right now in the bottom 10. And the way that this is going across now through this batting order, they're going to need to get a hit or 2 here before they see Shohei Ohtani on that top of the order. This is going to be big for Jake Cousins. Is he going to be able to get through this clean? Because right now, Yankees, they did their job. They scored a run. It's 3-2, bottom 10. Really, Jake Cousins, he's got to get the job done. They cannot go to the 11th.
They cannot in any way because once the game gets longer, it gets more comfortable for both managers and all the hitters around, even pitchers who are starting to maybe have concerns of arms getting soft.
Yeah.
Then you have to go to your long relievers. Say put Brent Honeywell for the Dodgers, Marcus Stroman for the Yankees, if we're talking about long relievers.
And you're right, Alec. I'm glad you made that point because when you work game 2 tomorrow, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Yamamoto or Rodon to maybe have a long outing if this game gets extended any longer. So both of the managers kind of went to their bullpen. They used as much as they could here. They're kind of hoping the Dodgers want to rally, but the Yankees just want to get this done and over with.
Yeah, earlier is better for the Yankees, especially that they've been in this situation for the 3rd time already in extra innings. Every extra inning game has involved the Yankees.
Yeah, that is interesting as we go across how that's going to continue and how the bullpen usage is going to continue. Alec's going to get set to close this for us, just maybe. We're in the bottom 10. It's Jake Cousins trying to finish it off.
Yeah, to get the save, it's not Luke Weaver this time around. It is Cousins trying to protect his 1-run game. 6.75 ERA, but it's in a short sample size. Not been utilized a lot, as that normally would be Tim Hill on this spot. First pitch is inside at dead center on a strider. 6 strikeouts this postseason, 53 in the regular season for Cousins. Only played 37 games in the regular season, but he's up against Will Smith. Outside left, slider 82, evens the count at 1.
I can see for Cousins, at least, Alec, how it would be hard for some of these batters to pick up on his delivery. It's not quite a sidearm, but there's a lot of movement toward that left side of the box. You got to wait and get something good to swing at. Don't get caught going way outside of the zone.
And the single was outside that time around. It puts the count at 2-1. Yankees protecting a 3-2 lead. The go-ahead run from Anthony Volpe on a fielder's choice. It scored a Jazz Chisholm Jr. Anthony Rizzo out at second, as this was at right center. Evens count at 2. Cousins on pitch number 4. The next one will be his 5th. So Aaron Boone is monitoring pitch count for each of his relievers. Ideally, it would be at most 20 pitches. Luke Weaver is 1 shy of a 20th pitch. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball right field. And that does not move Juan Soto. 1 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, you can say this, Alec, for sure. If it ends up working out for the Yankees as much as we might have scratched our head on some of these moves for Boone, you're right. The pitch count never got too crazy, so everybody should be available for game 2.
So, and usually when you go to a game 7, it's an all-hands-on-deck approach for both guys. So every pitcher is available, even starting pitchers who normally go on and start games, they would come in relief. First pitch, way outside on a slider for Gavin Lux.
He was lucky that Cousins didn't bite Lux there with a breaking ball toward his back foot.
This one, that was in between the zone and Lux. 2-0. And feel that for Japanese connections, it may not end at just Ohtani and Yamamoto. The last time the Yankees were in the World Series, Hideki Matsui won World Series MVP. 2-0 pitch. It's on the right line on a slider.
Yeah, Godzilla was excellent, Hideki Matsui, for the Yankees. That's the first one that I think of in most cases.
And that 2009 run, the only one in the Jeter era, which they didn't win it without outside Joe Torre. Joe Girardi was the manager. This one downstairs, and this one not a strike as Gavin Lux did not get it all the way, but barely missed on that one. It's a 3-1 count, hitter's count. This 3-1 pitch on the way, upstairs, and the winning run is at the plate.
I was just going to say that to you, Alec, if you didn't bring that up there. Now I'm seeing Hill and Cortez starting to warm for the Yankees. That's the last thing Cousins wanted to do because that means Ohtani gets to leave the on-deck circle as Tommy Edman waits.
As he said, tying run at first, winning run at the plate. Tommy Edman can deliver. He had his first home run in 79 plate appearances last game, but he can deliver a homer at any moment.
I'm just wondering if Tommy Edman is going to swing at anything that's toward the low part of the box, meaning avoiding any ground balls. He might just try to get something in the air just to make sure that Shohei Ohtani gets an opportunity to take a swing, because this is big right now. Edman's got to make sure he doesn't hit into a double play.
The Yankees protecting a 3-2 lead. So Tommy Edman has 6 home runs with the Dodgers in the regular season, 1 in the postseason, the biggest one of his career so far, the one that got him NLCS MVP, 340 batting average, which is a team best, 12 RBI, another team best. First pitch. Wow, that looked to be outside, but they called a strike against Edman. 0-1.
That was a beyond friendly call there for Cousins.
Oof. It was a slider. It looked to be outside, but Carlos Torres may have gotten the call wrong. 0-1 count here. This next pitch, it's a pickup attempt, and Lux reached back to first safely.
So we'll continue to monitor. Shohei still trying to get his warm-up tosses on deck. Tommy Edman just trying to avoid the ground ball double play here against Jake Cousins. That would win the Yankees the game. It's 3-2 right now, bottom 10.
And this one on the left line. That time Torres got the call correct. 0-2 count. Cousins fit it in there perfectly.
Yes, he did. Perfect placement there on an inside sinker against Edman.
The 0-2. And the next pitch will be Cousins' 13th. Who knows what could happen? 0-2 count, Edman 1 for 3. Ohtani on deck. The 0-2. Just a low downstairs. Slider 82, and Cousins is starting to feel some pressure against him, especially with Tim Hill and Nestor Cortez Jr. are warming up. Someone's wearing a Kobe Bryant Dodgers jersey over the background. The Mamba black and gold as well. 1-2 pitch. This one is going to be pass Oswaldo Cabrera. A base hit on the infield. Cabrera picks it up. And Lux reaches second safely.
Lux stumbled as he tried to edge on the bag. Honestly, if he didn't stumble, he might have been able to get to third. But as it is, they don't get anybody out as Jake Cousins. And now it really is Shohei Ohtani. They're going to probably make a pitching change before this. Alec, it looks like Nestor Cortez, who just got activated, is going to relieve Jake Cousins here.
I don't know if it's the right idea to put Cortez in, especially because he is just activated from the injured list. I thought it would give him time, but Cortez, it could work if he delivers the right throws toward Ohtani. What can save them It's a ground ball double play.
Absolutely, Alec. And again, I'm just wondering out loud. I'm sure the Fox broadcast will tell us if it happens in real time or not. Is this Nestor Cortez's first save ever? Because he's a starter here, but he's thrown in the fire in the bottom of the 10th. The Yankees trying to hold on to a one-run lead with runners at first and second and one out. But Shohei Ohtani is going to get set to swing the bat.
I feel if I'm Nestor Cortez Jr., I wonder if the possibility of walking him would be under the books, because when Ohtani is on the plate and there are runners on bases, that's his bread and butter. 18 or 24 in such situations, but you figure that Ohtani can deliver a winning run. All he needs is at least a double here. That can score the two guys on the bases, at least a double can work out for the win.
Yeah, Alec, again, I don't want to say this into existence. We'll see what happens, but it really does feel like you're right. I would probably, if I'm Cortez, try to get Mookie Betts to hit into a double play. I know that's easier said than done. Sometimes Mookie does have his struggles in the postseason, but this almost feels like a formality. And Cortez has yet to even step on the field. I know I feel bad saying that, but again, it's like the sacrifice that Betts was able to give with Ohtani at third. You feel like at least one run is going to score.
At least. And that could be Gavin Lux, because he's at second base. If Tommy Edman goes to home, it's over.
So that's exactly what we have waiting for us, as if there couldn't be any more intrigue, and honestly, as if there couldn't be any more heart palpitations for Nestor Cortez. You just get activated, you're a starting pitcher, and now you got to get the save against Shohei Ohtani.
That's a daunting task to take. Top end starting pitcher up against the best batter on the Dodgers. And even though he's 1 for 4, one swing can change everything.
Chris Taylor now is a pinch runner for the Dodgers. I believe that is for Muncy. Lux, thank you.
Yeah, just Taylor, he's a utility player. He can play second base, third base, and center field. Now it's Nestor Cortez Jr., who last pitched on September the 18th in his first appearance in this World Series. Chris Taylor is the pinch runner in the place of Gavin Lux at second base. You think that speed would be a reliable factor for the Dodgers. 34 years young. The thing is, though, up note, someone sent me this. Ohtani is 2 for 12 against Cortez in his career. Maybe an interesting counter call by Aaron Boone.
Get ready, Alec.
All right. Popcorn all and ready. Ohtani 1 for 4 up against Cortez, who looks to second. The first pitch. Ohtani is this deep enough over to left field, and this will be a chase down. Oh, wow! Verdugo went up and over Buddha's stance and makes a sensational grab. Holy!
He's doing the Derek Jeter, is he not? Alec? What a ridiculous catch for Verdugo!
You could not have it any better than this as Verdugo went up and over the left field wall and making a catch. And he goes onto the stands, checks in with some of the fans. Yeah, I'm all right. And he gets back into action. No words for wear, but what a catch.
He takes his left hand, avoids the pole, avoids the railing, because honestly, he could have smashed his face into it, goes over, rolls over, makes the catch, holds on to it, and avoids the fans. Absolutely ridiculous catch. And that was to get Ohtani, but the job's not done now. Unless they're going to walk Mookie Betts to face Freddie Freeman. We're going to see what they're going to do. Yes, they're going to put on Mookie Betts. The job's not done. It's Freddie Freeman with the bases juiced and nowhere else to go. What a fitting end this could be for game one. Maybe to win it, maybe to end it, maybe extras. Who knows?
We don't know just yet. Everything's on the table. Maybe a floater that can get at least a double can do it for Freddie Freeman. A base hit can score in 2 for Freddie, if it's deep enough, that is. So Mookie's going to first. Bases are loaded. The counter argument against walking Betts is that Freddie Freeman is at the plate. Basically, pick
Maybe they're doing it because Freddie doesn't run as well, but again, as Alec and I mentioned, we didn't see that when he was able to run all the way to third. So here we go. Cortez versus Freeman.
All right. Battle amongst firepower. We'll see if this decision pays off or not because Freddie Freeman can deliver at the most clutch moments. Atlanta saw 3 years ago, and the Dodgers are used to it now, even on a badly sprained right ankle for Freddie. We'll see if this pays off for Nestor Cortez. We'll just have to see here. First pitch. And the high fly ball. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Hello and goodbye. 5 nights at Freddie Freeman's. It's a grand slam to walk it off.
What a fitting end to this ball game. Again, as you mentioned, pick your poison between Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Hey, you're going to walk me? You don't think I can get the job done? First pitch, adios, right field, game over.
What a fitting end to this game. Now we saw a pitching clinic between Garrett Cole and Jack Flaherty, and the Dodgers deliver an instant classic Game 1 victory, and they win it on a grand slam, 423 feet. One sprained ankle. Feels like Freddie's so good out there.
I know I said this as far as the game rating. Well, we've exploded past the 10 out of 10. It's a 12 out of 10. This might be the very best baseball game I've ever seen. First pitch, Nestor Cortez trying to get the save. He just holds the bat in the air and then just takes a slow walk from the grand slam into the mob scene at home. What a beautiful sight there for the crowd and for Freddie Freeman as he killed that baseball.
That ball had a family job. What a fun one this has been.
I can't believe it, Alec. Every single game that we do, doesn't matter what sport it is, you just keep upping the intensity. I'm jealous that I can't be here for game 2. You have fun. I'm glad we can enjoy this game 1. I will see you back on Monday for sure. That's a gigantic win for the Dodgers. They kind of feel like the Yankees really needed it. They needed to be able to hold. And Jack Flaherty, I see the crowd shot from him. He is the happiest guy in the room right now. That was an incredible baseball game. It just doesn't get much better than that.
Man of the match, Freddie Freeman. You've seen it here. He's up late trying to get the win. The loss is credited to Jake Cousins. But what a fitting end to this game. Freddie Freeman, he's my man of the match.
Absolutely, Alec. There is no question about that now. As he gets the Gatorade bath, the Dodgers celebrate. They take this one and walk off grand slam fashion in the 10th with 2 outs. Dodgers win 6-3. Alec, I will see you on Monday. You have a good call tomorrow, my friend.
See you then, John. We enjoyed this one so much.
Yes, we did. We will talk to you all again soon.
Good night, everyone.
So if you just joined us or if you joined in, walk off grand slam Freddie Freeman. I'll type this in right now. In the 10th. Guys, that was one of the best games you'll ever see. And that was just game 1 of the World Series. Dodgers take it 6-3. Freddie Freeman grand slam in the 10th. Jazz Chisholm, couple steals. Ended up getting a single there from Volpe. Jake Cousins, he can't do the job as Cortez comes in to save. He gets charged for the rest of the runs. I don't even know what to say. I don't know how you top that. Again, Datyans or Alec Nava is going to have the coverage for game 2. You follow him at DATYNZER Alec on Twitch. He'll have it tomorrow. I have Waterford Sharks duty against the Detroit Warhawks. So I can't cover game 2, but I will be back for games 3, 4, and 5 alongside Alec. You guys have a good one, okay? Peace.